All right, Jim, a gorgeous day in Pittsburgh as the Browns prepare to take on the Steelers. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson along with my partner Brent Jones. The Steelers and the Browns, truly one of the great rivalries in the National Football League. And the Browns are one penalty away from being 3-0. And the Steelers, surprisingly, 0-2. And Brent, they're saying this isn't a must-win, but really it is a must-win for the Steelers.
And Gus, if it's not a must-win, it's definitely a must-run for the Steelers. They've got to get Jerome Bettis back on track. Only 18 rushes the first 2 games. They need to take the parking brake off the bus today and start doing some damage. On the other side of the ball, Tim Couch came into this team and this league here 4 years ago with one weapon, and that was their wide receiver, Kevin Johnson. And now, all of a sudden, he's got 3 other guys, Dennis Northcutt, Quincy Morgan, and the flashy rookie, Andre Davis, stepping up and making some big plays down the field.
So Cordell Stewart has thrown 4 interceptions in 2 games. His coach has told him he has to play better or a change will come. Welcome to Heinz Field in beautiful Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where today it's the Browns and the Steelers meeting for the 100th time in their illustrious histories. And it's a matchup that dates back to 1950. Through the years, men like Bobby Lane, Otto Graham, Terry Bradshaw, and Chuck Noll, the legendary Paul Brown, Jack Lambert, and so many more have marked one of the game's classic rivalries. Today, a centennial celebration when we continue with the National Football League on CBS.
Subway presents Fresh Starts, a glance at teams looking to turn heads this season. Subway, eat fresh. Running back Ricky Williams has been a welcome addition to the Dolphins. In Week 3, he ran for 151 yards in a 30-3 win over the Jets. The Saints traded Williams, but they played surprisingly well, thanks to young players like quarterback Aaron Brooks and receiver Dante Stallworth, who connected for a touchdown in a 29-23 comeback win over the Bears.
Your turn. Hey.
Hold on. Guys, come on. You've been eating this stuff 6 nights in a row. I thought hell week was over. Let's go to Subway. Something hot, something fresh made. Anything but round and greasy.
How about a hot, mouth-watering Dijon horseradish melt on Monterey cheddar cheese bread? Or a delicious hot sweet onion chicken.
Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, we're ready for the Browns and the Steelers. And what a day. 70 degrees and sunny here in downtown Pittsburgh, and the Steelers have won the toss and have elected to receive the football. A look at the series note as the Browns lead the series, but the Steelers have won the last 3 meetings, 10 of the last 12. So Phil Dawson ready to send it away. Antoine Randall, Lee Mays back deep. And this will be Randall from his own goal line. Makes the first man miss. Whoa! Slippery moves by the rookie out of Indiana. Returns it 18 yards. So here comes Cordell Stewart. He struggled in his first 2 games. Turnovers a problem. 4 interceptions in 2 games. And the Steelers are coming off the bye week. And his coach, Bill Cowher, called him into the office and said, look, I know you're going to play better, but if you don't, I will have to make a change.
Well, you know, Cordell has been used to this roller coaster ride before, Gus, and we have to remember he was a Pro Bowl quarterback last year. He's only played 2 games thus far this year, and a big part of it, they've got to get their running game on track.
First down and 10 at the 18-yard line. They pitch it to the bus. Jerome Bettis over the left side gets up to the 20. Kennard Lang, the former Redskin, with the tackle. Offensively for the Steelers, let's take a look. Up front, it's Gandy Faneca coming off a Pro Bowl season. Harding, Simmons, and Marvell Smith, the second-year man out of Michigan. Backs and receivers, Jerome Bettis, only 18 carries in 2 games. His attempts are low. Kreider, Burris, Ward, the receivers with Mark Bruner at tight end. And there he is, the bus. He says he's healthy and ready to rumble. 2nd and 8 at the 20. Here's Stewart passing on 2nd down, and he is dropped in the backfield. That's Orpheus Roy, the former former Steeler getting pressure on Cordell Stewart.
Well, and you've got to be careful when you go ahead and play against a former teammate. The juices flow just a little bit more. Watch this shot, Orpheus Roy, right? And Cordell Stewart's back. He's lucky he got that ball off another split second. That was going to be a fumble.
So Orpheus Roy in his 7th year out of Florida State. His 3rd year with the Browns, coming over from the Steelers. Brings up 3rd down and 8 at the 20. Amos Zaraway lines up in the backfield. Stewart out of the shotgun. Hines Ward, the motion man for the Steelers. Here's Cordell lining it up underneath. Caught by Ward at the 25, but short of the 1st down. Bentley with the tackle, a 6-yard gain, and the Steelers forced to punt, 3 and out.
And Gus, that's been one of the problems the Steelers have faced thus far this year. 3rd and long, 8 yards. That's a tough convert at that type of distance, and so you've got to, and if you're going to run those routes, geez, please run them at the 1st down marker. No use getting 6 when you need 8.
Josh Miller on the punt. Dennis Northcutt leading the NFL in punt return average, over 21 per game. Had that 74-yard 4th quarter punt return for a touchdown last week versus Tennessee. Let's see if he gets a chance to return one here. A short punt. Northcutt close to the 40, makes the first man miss and goes down at the 40-yard line. James Farrier, the former Jet, with the tackle. A 37-yard punt and a 2-yard return. On to the field for the Browns is Tim Couch, and he played in his first game last week versus Tennessee. Missed the first 2 games because of an elbow injury, and he had a great game. 36 of 50, 326 yards, and Couch is ready to roll.
And what a great confidence builder for Tim Couch to come out. And a lot of talk in Cleveland that week about Kelly Holcomb, who had a great initial couple games of the season, but Tim stepped up, handled the pressure, and made some big plays. And you see him coming out right away, Gus, 3 wide receiver formation.
Jamel White lines up in the backfield for the Browns. Play action on 1st down. Couch setting up deep in the pocket all day to throw, and he just whizzes this one out of bounds. Let's take a look at the Browns offensively. Verba, Stokes, O'Hara, Zakauskas, and Ryan Tucker up front. The backs and receivers. William Green, the rookie, fumbled twice last week. He did not get the start, but he will play. Shea, Morgan, Johnson, and Mark Campbell. So instead of bringing Green in the game to begin the game, it was Jamel White lining up in the backfield. And here we go, empty backfield for the Browns. They're letting the Steelers know they prepare to throw it. Here's Couch underneath, and it's incomplete. No flag on the play, and a late flag coming in. A late flag coming in.
And Gus, there's that 5-yard chuck zone, and I think Dwayne Washington was holding on to Quincy Morgan after those 5 yards. That flag was awful late, though. It looked like Quincy had to beg for that call.
26 defense. That's 1st down.
Deshae Townsend. And the Steelers defense has allowed 807 yards of offense through their first 2 games this season.
And watch the right side of your screen right here, and that's actually Dwayne Washington. They called it on Townsend. You see those hand battle right there. So Deshae Townsend picked up a penalty that really wasn't his.
That's a 12-yard penalty. Browns have it at the 49. Over the middle, that one caught by Campbell, running over Pittsburgh Steelers, and he rumbles his way to the 40. That's a 9-yard pickup. Townsend there to trip him up. So quarterbacks in the first 2 games have been averaging 54 pass attempts per game. Smith, Hampton, Von Oelhoffen, and the linebackers Gilden Ferrier, Larry Foote, and Joey Porter. In the secondary, Chad Scott and Washington on the corners, with Alexander and Flowers at the safety positions. 2nd down 1 at the 40. William Green now in the game for the Browns. Here's Green over the right side, and Green stepped up and taken backwards. No gain on the play. He may have lost a yard. James Farrier, who was signed by the Steelers, coming over from the Jets to replace Earl Holmes with the tackle.
And I think the more James Ferrier gets comfortable with his style of defense, this 3-4, the better he can be as the season progresses. But one of the issues thus far in this first drive for the Cleveland Browns, Gus, Tim Couch having a ton of time to find open receivers. And that's what happens when you spread out this Pittsburgh defense. Their linebackers have to get wider, and all their pressure usually comes from the linebackers.
3rd down and 1 at the 40. Opponents have converted 51% of their 3rd down conversions this year on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and a flag on the play.
31 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Butch Davis in his 2nd season, and the 50-year-old coach is coming off a 7-9 record last year. And this team is 1 penalty flag away from 3-0.
Yeah, they are, and we all know about what Dwayne Rudd did, and he thought the game was over and threw his helmet, and the penalty that gave the Chiefs an extra play at the end of the game and kicked the field goal. And I'm almost tired of talking about it. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm sure Dwayne Rudd is too. Hey, it happened. They're going to move on, and they've got to get some points early today, and it's going to give them some big momentum for this Cleveland Browns offense.
3rd and 6 at the 45. They need to go to the Pittsburgh 39. Here's Couch lining it up underneath. It's caught, and it should be a 1st down. His forward progress should allow him to pick up the 1st down. Dennis Northcutt, and that's the problem for the Steelers. As we talked to Tim Lewis a couple of days ago, they have been unable to get off the field on 3rd down.
And that was definitely a Pittsburgh Steeler favorable defensive position. 3rd and 6, get some pressure on the quarterback, make the play happen in the secondary, but they didn't get pressure on the quarterback, and they haven't got any yet today on Tim Couch. And if you give Tim Couch time to set his feet and throw the ball, he is going to gash you.
So when you look at this Pittsburgh team, Tom Brady threw 43 times, Rich Gannon threw 64 times. Pittsburgh, if we dated back to last year when John Kitna threw 63 times in Cincinnati, everybody feels that they can throw on this team.
And
why?
It's going to happen until they prove they can stop it, Gus. And when you spread the defense out with 3 and 4 wide receivers, those linebackers, those outside linebackers have to step out, go out a little bit. It gives them further to go to get to the quarterback. Sometimes they're dropping in coverage. It's not what they'd like to see as far as playing defense.
1st down and 10 at the 39. They pitch it. This is Green trying to get around the corner, lowers his shoulder, and is out of bounds. Dwayne Washington there to usher him out of bounds. So a very solid opening drive for the Cleveland Browns. And Cleveland coming off a sensational win last week at Tennessee with 4 minutes remaining in the game. They were down by 14 points, and Tim Couch just led them all the way back. They finally won the game 31-28 in overtime. Phil Dawson with the 33-yard game winner. 2nd down and 3 at the 32. They spread it out once again. This time they run it over the left side, nowhere to go. James Ferrier plugging a hole and bringing down the rookie.
And we've seen Ferrier now a couple times today make a couple big tackles when they've needed him. Watching the right inside linebacker stepping up and making the play right here, staying patient, getting the read, figuring out where that running back is. Look at that wrap, Gus. You don't see that much solid tackling in the NFL like you used to. That was a good wrap by James Ferrier. He's got to continue to do that.
3rd down, 7 at the 36. They need to go to the 29 for a 1st down. And some movement on that right side. Ryan Tucker, one of the big free agent acquisitions for the Browns, coming over from St. Louis.
Ball start. 72 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
So the Browns move it back to the 41.5-yard line. Makes it 3rd down, 12 at the 41. Defensively, on 3rd down, the Steelers have struggled. Remember, this was the #1 defense in the NFL a year ago. They need to go to the 29 for a 1st. Couch out of the shotgun, looking, firing over the middle. Caught at the 10-yard line. What a strike. Andre Davis, a 31 31-yard reception, and the Browns are knocking on the door.
And what a throw by Tim Couch. And how about Andre Davis coming in motion, running that seam route. Now watch Joey Porter, the linebacker, running down the field with him. He doesn't know how this ball gets over his head. He thinks he's got it. Andre Davis catching the ball, covering up, and getting positive yards. And how impressive was that young man?
Oh, my goodness.
I mean,
We'll talk about him later, but this kid is sensational. First down and 10 at the 11. He scored a touchdown in his first 3 games. Quincy Morgan in motion. Here's Couch on a short roll. All day to throw the ball. Couch looks in the back of the end zone and just dumps it.
And Gus, it's been a couple of years since I've seen a Pittsburgh Steelers defense give a quarterback so much time to throw. And if you keep Tim Couch, you see him right now, hey, if we have that much time, guys, we got to get open. And Jason Gilden, Joey Porter, et al. Have got to find a way to get into that backfield. And thus far, the Pittsburgh Steelers defense still hasn't proven that it can stop that 3 and 4 wide receiver set.
Second down and 10 at the 11. Couch to throw again. Flips it out. Green in and out of his hands. James Ferrier covering. And the Browns are making no bones about it. They have no problems throwing the ball on this Pittsburgh squad. 6 pass attempts, 3 rushing attempts. And Tim Couch told us yesterday that, hey, we are going to throw the ball. We're going to see if they've been able to fix the problem.
And what a difference a year makes for both these teams. And you mentioned the Pittsburgh Steelers defense being #1 last year. But how about these gang of wide receivers for the Cleveland Browns coming out of nowhere to start making a huge impact? Great speed. They've all been catching the ball, running great routes. And Tim Couch went from having just Kevin Johnson to having 4 wide receivers that can break open a game at any instance.
For so long, Kevin Johnson was the man,
the lone wolf
in Cleveland. The lone wolf, you're exactly right.
I mean, it was the Tim and KJ show every week, and if they weren't happening, nobody was doing anything.
And Chad Scott has left the game. He bumped the referee, and the referee delivering a blow. Chad Scott had to walk off.
Getting that flipper, the referee.
Oh, my goodness.
Got up under his pads.
And Scott back on the field now.
Yeah, and Gus, I think once you leave the field, you can't come back in. And that's exactly what they're saying to Chad Scott. If you walk off the field after being injured, you got to stay out for 1 play.
And the clock stopped because of Chad Scott's injury. So he has to sit out 1 play. Brings up 3rd down and 10 at the 11. So one of their best cover corners out of the lineup. Browns on 3rd down need to go to the 1.5-yard line.
And watch him going after Hank Poteet now that he's out.
Poteet, number 22. Couch in the corner. Bobbled out of bounds. Incomplete. Quincy Morgan had it, but just couldn't hold on, and Tim Couch threw that one on a line.
On a line, and that's one of the things the Browns, and you see him going right after Hank Poteet, just like we mentioned, Bruce Arians on the sideline, and that's a touchdown pass. And those are the things that the Browns did last year that they hadn't been doing this year. And Quincy Morgan, a great opportunity to make a big play, get a touchdown early in the game. Got to catch it the first time.
So Phil Dawson, 7 of 8 on the season, in to attempt a 29-yarder. Chris Gargocki, the holder. They give it up, and it's good. So the Browns get on the board. Quincy Morgan, a golden opportunity slipping right out of his hand. The score should be 7-0, but Cleveland settles for 3 here in the first quarter. 11-play drive covering 50 yards. They held it for 5-10 as Phil Dawson kicked a 28-yarder. Dawson sending it away once again. Randall and Mays back deep. This is Antoine Randall from the 7 with some running room. Antoine Randall all the way up to the 39. A 31-yard return. Let's see if that gets this Pittsburgh offense fired up. They've got great field position.
I see linebackers blitz, cornerbacks too. cartwheels and splits and foam-fingered fools. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see guys who kick, girls who cheer, picture in picture, and ice-cold beer. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Some say he's still out wandering these hills, looking for his lost head. It's a true story. Okay, time to go to bed.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Mitsubishi Eclipse. It's impossible to sneak around it. Are you in? Energizer. Do you have the bunny inside? And by Hewlett-Packard. HP Digital Imaging. When it's easy, why not?
What a beautiful shot of downtown Pittsburgh, about 132 miles away from their favorite city, Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, that's their favorite city. This rivalry transcends the sport. The cities don't like each other a whole lot.
And it's so great to see both teams back. Pittsburgh struggling a bit right now, but on paper they have a lot of talent. 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's the inside handoff to Jerome Bettis, and Bettis picks up 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. Defensively for the Browns, gave up only 187 yards in total offense to the Titans last week. Watch Warren and Roy in the middle. They are great. Courtney Brown and Lang on the outside. The linebackers, Earl Holmes, his first 6 seasons with Pittsburgh, now in Cleveland, Rudd and Hambrick. And in the secondary, they are ecstatic about the acquisition of Robert Griffith from Minnesota. Bush, the other safety, McCutcheon, and Fuller are the corners. 2nd down and 7 at the 43. Kreider and Bettis line up out of the eye. Here's the handoff to Bettis over the right side. Bettis lowers his shoulder, and the bus gets close to the 50. Robert Griffith with the tackle, but it's a gain of 5.
And you've got to keep going to the bus. And you know what? Jerome Bettis gets better as the game goes on. He wears on you. His pounding, aggressive running style. You've got to keep going after it, even when it's 3rd and 2, even when it's 2nd and 8. That's what the Pittsburgh Steelers do. That's who they are. They're a ball control offense, and they've got some skill players these last couple years that I think maybe has taken the focus off their running game.
3rd down, 2 at the 48. Bettis comes off the field on 3rd down. Here's the toss. Antoine Randall looking for the first down, and has it. And this rookie is explosive. A gain of 8.
And they've talked about getting the ball in the hands of Randall L. any which way they can. Watch Big 72, Wayne Gandy, open up the hole for Randall L. Quick toss, get out there, big man, make the block. Pro bowler, bang, taking Dalen McCutcheon down. Now that's an unfair matchup. That's about 150 pounds difference there.
Antoine Randall L., a quarterback in college, did almost everything you could do as a collegiate player. And now getting primetime action for the Steelers. 1st and 10 at the 44. Here's a play fake. Stewart rolling. Stewart in trouble. Stewart gets rid of it. Bruner with the catch, and he's out of bounds at the 46. A loss of 2 yards. Gerard Warren chasing Cordell Stewart. And let's take a look at the AFC North. Very important game for both teams. Pittsburgh 0-2 overall, and they are trailing the Browns, and they don't want to go down 2.5 games, Brent.
Yeah, the Browns are going to run away with this thing if they hang on today. And you look at those other 2 teams, Baltimore and Cincinnati, are not going to compete. So the AFC North is going to be decided between these 2 teams this year, and this is the first blood battle of this whole season.
2nd down and 12 at the 46. Stewart looking to the sideline, and it's caught. Mexico Burris stretching out and grabbing it at the 36.
And Gus, you're going to see the big wide receiver come down with that left foot and do a great job of collapsing his right. Watch him running the square out right here. Watch him collapse the right leg after he comes down to be able to drag it. Watch it collapse, bang, and hit down. You see that ankle go limp a little bit. Very impressive, and Cordell Stewart taking a big shot
from Courtney Brown.
Great collapse. You see it almost looked like his ankle dislocated. Very impressive by the big wide receiver, who's really grown this last year or so.
3rd down and 2, though, at the 36. Here's the handoff. Amos Zaraway looking for the first down, and he won't get it. He needed to get to the 34. Courtney Brown with the tackle, so let's see.
And Gus,
Wk4 has a decision to make.
And when
It'll
it's
be
4th and 1. And I'm sorry, when it's 3rd and 2, you can't dance, you can't shutterbug. You got to get up in there, hit the hole right now. And there's Amos, and he's dancing around a little left and right. You saw that hole to the right side initially. You got to bang it right now. 4th down, looks like the Steelers are going.
So here we go, 4th down. And 1 yard to go. Dan Kreider, Jerome Bettis in the backfield. Double tight end set. Tooman in motion. And a timeout called by the Steelers. Just in time. 4:10 to go. Back after this.
This week on The Late Show,
Big play for the Steelers coming up. 4th down and 1 at the Cleveland 35, down 3-0. Kreider, Bettis in the backfield. And a whistle.
Boy, and I wonder if because Dwayne Gandy was leaning on the left side.
Wow.
Just getting a little anxious. It looked like his head was moving forward just a little bit. Didn't necessarily jump.
You're 100% right. A false start against the Steelers.
72 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
And the fans in Pittsburgh not pleased with that.
And you know what? That just is Wayne getting a little excited. You can watch his head just roll forward, his body lean right there. And that means the play's coming his way. Just a little anxious to make that block, and I don't blame the Steelers for running that side, but now it takes him out of the possibility of converting the first.
So Josh Miller comes in to punt it from the 45. Dennis Northcutt, the speedy punt return man at the 10. Miller wants to pop this one high in the air and does. Nicely done. And Northcutt, fair caught at the 11. 3rd punt landed inside the 20-yard line for Miller. Wayne Gandy making a big mistake.
Scusa. Cappuccino.
Okay, freeze. This is Jen, and she has the sudden urge to learn Italian. Who can help? The Italian Institute in Chicago. Carry on.
Hello. How do you say, hi, my name is Jen. Now be a good boy and come over here and sit on Mama's lap.
This is going to take a while. Now get the most minutes to use whenever. Introducing T-Mobile. Get more.
My son Brian and I are making sure everyone in Chicago is eating good.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, thanks. You need some nice, hot, chunky soup to fill you up right.
Introducing Campbell's Chunky Herb Roasted Chicken with potatoes and garlic. Big chunks of savory roasted chicken and loads of veggies.
Are you a good player?
He's a great player. Do you want to see?
Duck, duck, goose.
New Campbell's Chunky Roasted Favorites fill you up right.
Days go by and still I think of you. Days when I couldn't live my life without you. Without you. Without you.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by T-Mobile. Get more minutes, more features, more service. And by Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Cold down easy.
One of America's most enduring images, the Goodyear blimp, is floating overhead, providing our aerial views for today's game. The Spirit of Goodyear is one of the 3 airships in the Goodyear blimp fleet. First down and 10 at the 12 for the Browns. They hand it off to Jamel White. And White lowers his shoulder and gets up to the make it 16-yard line. Joey Porter with the tackle, a gain of 4. Are you winning your fantasy matchup? Get real-time scores and stats for your fantasy team at CBSSportsline.com or on America Online and our keyword CBS Sportsline. Second down, 6 yards to go. Aaron Shea, William Green in the backfield. Now Shea lines up as the tight end on the near side. Kevin Johnson comes in motion. Tim Couch looking that way underneath, broken up. Chad Scott getting a hand over the top and redirecting the football.
Now you're talking technique, huh? You like that offhand coming over. You know why? It's because if you use your inside arm, it doesn't reach as far as your shoulder extension coming over the top to deflect that ball. You get an extra 6 or 8 inches in reach. George Seifert taught me that. That was the only thing I ever listened to him about.
Well, an extra 6 or 8 inches, always a good thing when you're playing football and you're trying to get to the football.
They say it's a game of inches, I hear.
No question. Third down and 6 at the 16. They need to go to the 22. Here's Couch over the middle, caught Andre Davis. And Davis close to the first down, but some good tackling by Joey Porter and Chad Scott.
And you saw Chad Scott come back and make that tackle. And that's one of the things this Pittsburgh Steelers defense hasn't done well the first couple games of this season is tackle in the secondary. You see Chad Scott right there. Hey, he is not letting go. And Andre Davis, young wide receiver, and so impressive thus far. But he's got to realize in those third down situations, when you catch it, you don't want to go lateral. You got to go vertical right now. Lower your shoulders, get up, get that ball past the first down marker. And he did anyway. Hey, he showed me. I got a bad angle up here.
Already Davis with 2 catches for 35 yards. He played with Michael Vick at Virginia Tech, a second-round pick. And this young man didn't play football until his junior year in high school because he was on the soccer team.
Of all the people we've interviewed over the years, the maturity for a young player, there's one guy, Peyton Manning, that was in the same category as this young man. Everybody else couldn't hold a candle to those two.
First down and 10 at the 23. Couch sets up over the middle. It's caught at the 40-yard line. Aaron Shea dragging across the middle. He hops up on his feet after a gain of 17. And Brett Alexander tried to take his head off.
And you know I love Aaron Shea. When we get Browns games, I love talking about him. Deep cross over the middle, catching the ball, hanging on, taking the shot. Get up. Give me a little first down, big man. Aaron Shea coming, rotating between that fullback position, that lead blocker, and tight end, but he can make some things happen at the tight end position.
He missed the Kansas City and Cincinnati games with a shoulder injury. First down and 10 at the 40 for the Browns. Couch under pressure, and this time they get to him. Aaron Smith on a stunt drops Tim Couch for a loss.
Boy, and if you're a Steelers fan, Gus, that's the greatest thing you can see. Aaron Smith getting into the backfield because he hasn't done anything as far as sacks this year, and you see he comes untouched. We have a missed blocking assignment. And you see him right here, down defensive end. It looks like a missed assignment outside. He comes in. You see just the forearm shiver outside from Zukauskis. And nobody blocks Aaron Smith.
An 8-yard loss, second down and 18 at the 33 for the Browns. They got to get this play off, and they do. Here's the delayed handoff to Jamel White. Pops it outside. White, a foot race. And White goes out of bounds at the 12. Brett Alexander there to push him out of bounds. But the Steelers allowing the Browns to pop a big one.
And when the psyche of your pass defense starts to lay so heavily on you, watch out for the run. And watch out for Jamel White. We know he can catch the ball out of the backfield. Look at the blocks inside. Great job outside. Steelers defensive backs running into each other. And there goes Jamel White. Little setup. Brent Alexander gets an extra 10 yards. And Gus, I'm telling you what, this Cleveland Browns team is playing with an awful lot of confidence.
A gain of 54 yards. First down at the 13. This time it's Green. And Green following his blocks nicely. Gets down to the 9. James Ferrier with the tackle, a gain of 4.
And Coach Davis was going on and on about his first-round pick, William Green, and he told us, hey, one of these days, this guy is going to explode, and it might be a few weeks down the season. It might be at the end of the year, but I have a lot of confidence in this young man. And you see Jamel White on the sidelines next to him. Sometimes the greatest motivator for a player that's already there is a first-round draft pick in your position. That'll make Jamel White play even harder.
Second down, 6 at the 9. 67 rushing yards for the Browns. Play action, Couch in the end zone. Incomplete. Kevin Johnson had a step on Dwayne Washington, but that ball underthrown just a little bit.
And you know, it's weird for me to do a Browns game and not call Kevin Johnson's every catch, because he has been the guy. And what a heck of a move. And that should have been a face mask penalty there on Dwayne Washington. He got away with one because that's the only thing to stop Kevin Johnson from blowing right by him for an easy touchdown. You just saw Dwayne Washington do the old veteran trick. Hey, if you get beat that bad, throw up an arm and see if you can trip him up. And he didn't even get called for it.
Third down, 6 at the 9.
And that was some shake and bake by KJ, huh?
They need to go to the 3. And Tim Couch calls a timeout. First timeout called by Cleveland. They have the ball at the Pittsburgh 9.
Pizza!
In my
See why CBS Monday is America's best night of television. It starts with The King of Queens, followed by Yes Dear, then Everybody Loves Raymond, the series premiere of Still Standing, CSI, and then The Late Show. Big play here for the Browns. Third down, 6 at the Pittsburgh 9. Couch out of the shotgun, looking. Couch throws, caught by Campbell, dropped by Campbell. And a flag on the play in the backfield. Jason
That is
Gilden.
the end of the first quarter.
And a flag.
And there was a flag also in the secondary,
Is
Gus.
in the secondary, excuse me.
And I'm just wondering, they threw it in the area of Dwayne Washington. And we've got the Browns signaling, Quincy Morgan signaling it's against the Browns.
Wow.
KJ's signaling against the Steelers. And it looks like it's the Steelers.
Illegal use of hands. Number 40, defense, hands to the face. That's half the distance to the goal. First down.
There is no number 40 on the Steelers, so you have to guess that it was 41, Lee Flowers.
That'll keep you guessing. And we thought there might have been a hands to the face on the play before. And Kevin Johnson made a great move on Dwayne Washington. Dwayne got him up around the face mask and the helmet. Nothing was called. But here we come back with it and get it the next play.
And Butch Davis telling his team to go back onto the field. Flag still on the 3-yard line. First down for the Browns. So the Browns, with no time remaining in the third quarter, will get one more play. The quarter cannot end on a defensive foul. First down goal at the 4. Davis goes in motion. They hand it off. Here's William Green, leads forward, and he gets to the 3. And now that is the end of the first quarter. With the score, Cleveland 3 and Pittsburgh nothing. We'll be back to Pittsburgh after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS. 3-0 Cleveland, and the Browns have it at the Pittsburgh 3-yard line. This is the 10th play of the drive that started at the Browns 12-yard line. R.J. Bowers and William Green in the backfield. Double tight ends. Couch to pass. Couch! And he's sacked. Flowers around the corner in a hurry. Lee Flowers.
And Gus, we had talked about how do you get pressure on the quarterback if you have to split out your linebackers. Sooner or later, you're going to have to bring a nickel, a safety, somebody in from the outside. And here comes Lee Flowers taking a shot at Tim Couch's knee from behind. Could have been a brutal shot. You see Tim get up. Make sure he's okay.
A loss of 8, third down goal at the 11. They line up with 4 receivers. Johnson Northcutt on the near side. Couch looks that way. Steps up. That one almost intercepted. Holy mackerel. Clark Higgins had 2 hands on the football.
And he's smiling. He knows that's as easy as it's going to get, Clark. Right through your mitts. Tim Couch does a great job of eluding rush right here with a little fake. Steps up and unleashing that. Whoa. Right through his hands. And you know what? Sometimes that's why guys become linebackers.
Instead of a pass-catching tight end.
That's right, or a fullback.
So Phil Dawson good from 28 today. This is 29-yarder. It's up. And good. 14:21 to go, second quarter. The Browns with a 6-0 lead.
The all-new
Third-year man Clark Higgins had a golden opportunity to keep the Browns off the scoreboard. As you take a look at the drive, Phil Dawson, his second field goal of the game. Dawson ready to kick it away. This time it's Mays inside his own 10. Mays straight ahead to the 25. A 17-yard return. Now, while we have a moment, we join all NFL fans in mourning the passing of Hall of Famer Mike Webster this week. The Steelers center was the cornerstone of an offensive line that was at the core of 4 Pittsburgh Super Bowl titles in the 70s, and his brilliant career continued until 1990. For today's game, Steelers fans observed a moment of silence for Mike Webster. He was 50 years old. First down and 10 at the 25. Cordell Stewart on the quarterback draw. Stewart trying to get outside and does. Quick feet, and he is leveled. Cordell Stewart leveled by Corey Fuller.
And Corey Fuller will hit you.
Wow.
And this whole defensive backfield from the Cleveland Browns will hit you, but Cordell Stewart pops right up, but there's a shot right under the shoulder pads, Gus. You get under a guy, and you're going to always have the opportunity to deliver a big blow, and you see Cordell go down, but he bounces right back up.
But it's a 9-yard run, second down and 1 at the 34. Tooman lines up as the tight end on the near side. Bettis the single setback. Here comes Hines Ward. The bus. Chopping his feet, and Bettis picks up the first down. Fans in Pittsburgh really appreciating the contribution of Mike Webster during his career here with the Steelers. Terry Bradshaw's center. And Mike Webster had a great line a couple of years ago. He said, giving Terry Bradshaw a mic is like giving a peeping Tom Visine. Jerome Bettis over the 40 up to the 42. Courtney Brown with the tackle. And Courtney Brown is a player that has so much potential. There have been some rumors swirling around about the Browns potentially trading him to Minnesota. But Butch Davis called Courtney in his office this week and said, look, I like the way you're playing. You aren't going anywhere.
He's a very disciplined player. Coach Davis was telling us he stays home. He does exactly what you do when you draw up the defense on the board. But sometimes as an outside pass rusher, you need to freelance a little bit. Turn it loose. Go crazy.
Second down, 7 at the 42. Stewart to the sideline. Burris cradles it. Tries to turn it up. Has a first down, though, at midfield. A gain of 9. Miami, Kansas City duking it out. Here's Jim Nantz in New York.
All right, thank you, Gus. And how about this? Priest Holmes in the end zone for the 8th time this season. Look at this move. 25 yards against the Dolphins. It's 17-10 Kansas City. Just 2 minutes into the second quarter. Let's go back to Gus and Brent.
right, Jim, Priest Holmes really coming on. Remember when he was a backup in Baltimore, got his chance in Kansas City, and he's become an all-star.
Came from nowhere, and he is an all-star. You don't see people run through Miami's defense like that.
First down and 10 at the 49. Bettis hit quickly by Courtney Brown and taken to the ground. And when we talked to Coach Davis yesterday during our meetings, he told us that not only is he pleased and happy about the way Courtney plays the game, but he's even happier about how this young man is as a person.
Yeah, and the Browns really have a lot of character, guys. In fact, I saw Coach Davis quoted this week as saying the biggest difference between this year's team and last year's team is we have a lot more character guys in the locker room. That plays a big part. Locker room is a key ingredient to success. Just ask the Patriots.
Second down and 9 at the 48. Cordell Stewart to pass underneath behind Hines Ward, but somehow the crafty receiver makes the catch and picks up the first down, a gain of 12.
And Hines Ward loves operating across the middle. That's where he loves to get those balls. Not everybody likes to do that. And you watch down below, a little double team on Courtney Brown, give Cordell time to throw. And it seems to me, Gus, is the little mix and match. When you can run the bus and you can pound the guys in there, Cordell, quarterback draw, it just opens up the passing game. But it's got to be run first with this Pittsburgh Steelers offense.
Steelers starting to find their rhythm a bit on offense. First down and 10 at the 36. Antoine Randall in the backfield. They pitch it to him. Gets around the corner. Whoa, Randall. And that is one of the most exciting 2-yard runs you'll see. He was wrapped up, but kept his legs going and somehow picked up a yard or two.
Awful slippery, the rookie, and they talk about getting the ball in his hands every which way they can. He wants to get him more involved.
You know who he reminds me of? Remember when Eric Metcalf came in the league with Cleveland? How explosive he was, running back punts and kicks and lining up on third down.
Very slippery. Jitterbug.
Second down and 10 at the 36. Bettis back into the game. Here's Bettis over the right side. Bettis met in the backfield and taken down by Orpheus Roy.
I guess we actually were at the Pro Bowl one year. I was with Jerome Bettis way back when Jerome Bettis was with the Rams. And we actually had a Superstars competition. And Eric Metcalf and Marshall Faulk, when they were both in the AFC, Bettis was in the NFC with me. And we had this Superstars event, and the last one was a sprint through cones and what have you. And Bettis was going up against Marshall Faulk and beat him by 3 steps. Put an extra $2,000 in my pocket.
Oh my goodness!
I've loved the bus ever since.
Third down and 10 though. Big play for the Steelers at the 36. They need to go to the 26. Stewart down the seam. Caught! Beautiful throw and beautiful catch. Hines Ward. And Cordell Stewart threw a rope. 28 yards.
And how about Cordell Stewart answering the bell? And like we said at the top of the show, he's been on this roller coaster ride before, threatening his job and what have you, but watch Hines Ward coming down the field. Great setup move outside, bends it back in across the middle. Cordell puts it right on the numbers, gives his room to run, and Cordell getting some time to throw. Look at him unleash that ball right on the money.
So the Steelers have it at the Cleveland 7. First down, Stewart turns it up. Stewart wrapped up at the 5, make it the 4. Earl Holmes, the first man to him. And it was surprising yesterday when we talked to Earl Holmes and asked him about Cordell Stewart and the mistakes that he's made, and does he expect Stewart to make more mistakes, and he was really supportive of his former team.
Very supportive. He said Cordell's been through this before, and I'm sure he'll come through with shining colors, but I just hope this game he still suffers a little bit.
11th play of the drive that started at the Pittsburgh 25. Second down goal at the 5. The bus. Oh, keeps running. Bettis dives. Touchdown. What a second effort.
Gus, the inevitability, Earl Holmes, Jerome Bettis, one-on-one. They were practice players against each other for so many years. And we were wondering, they both talked about it, who was going to win the first one. And you see the bus is still moving. Second, third gear. Bus 1, Earl 0 right there.
Jerome Bettis, 5'11", 256 pounds. Let's see. We may have a challenge. The red flag is on the field at the 20. I believe Butch Davis wants to see if Bettis' knee was down.
And that's not a bad challenge. Although down on the 1 yard, Pittsburgh Steelers are pretty successful about pounding it in. You'd hate to be wrong and lose a timeout. If it's a big play, it might be worth a challenge, but let's see if that knee goes down. A good call.
Wow.
He's a yard, half a yard short.
Ruling on the field of a touchdown. They feel his knee was down, and the ball did not break the plane.
Here we go. And Gus, wherever that ball is when the knee hits, that's where the ball shall be marked. It's actually back before that. His knee hit right there. There's the spot. There's the ball at the 1. And that's confidence in your defense, because Butch Davis is going to challenge that call. Good challenge. I actually thought he got the ball into the end zone, and I thought he was just reaching on that one. But Coach Davis knows a little bit more. And the defensive players, they know when that ball's not a touchdown. And you're going to see that knee hit, and that ball is not there yet. This will come back. It'll be on the 1 yard line. Still a great 3 or 4 yard run by Jerome Bettis. But that's a lot of confidence in your defense, because now it's going to be 2nd and 1 from the 1 yard line. And heck, you never know what can happen. Pittsburgh's had 10 turnovers coming into this game after only 2 games this year.
And a heck of a play. Devin Bush, all 6 feet, 210 pounds of him, able to drag Jerome Bettis down and force that knee to the turf.
And this should be a quick challenge. You know, some of these things take 3, 4, 5 minutes. You're looking at every angle, and this is a no-brainer. And so right now it's giving this Cleveland defense a chance to regroup, get some water, get some fresh air, say, hey guys, we got to dig these cleats in and make something happen. Maybe even talking about stripping, going for the ball. And here's one more look, and there's the ball, and there's the knee.
So here's Bernie Kukar.
After reviewing the play, the runner was down with the ball being at the 1 yard line. There is no charge timeout for Cleveland.
So a good decision by Coach Davis. And the Pittsburgh offense comes back onto the field. Makes it 3rd down goal at the 1.
Now, I had mentioned it was 2nd down. It is 3rd down. And you just feel like you're going to see another bust right here. In fact, this is obviously 4 down territory. This is 2 Jerome Bettis's. I mean, there's nothing else you need to do with your offense. These are important plays right now for this rest of this season for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. They've got to show what they're about right here.
Here we go. Macho football at its best. Bettis all by himself in the backfield. And Stewart fumbles the snap. He did it 2 weeks ago against the Raiders at almost the same spot on the field. And this time, the Steelers dodge a bullet, but they have to kick a field goal. Unbelievable.
And that's just the case probably of Cordell Stewart pulling out a little earlier. Jeff Harting's just not getting that ball up, thinking about block first. And I'm not so sure that you don't go for it at this point, Gus. That just really deflates your offense, really gives momentum back to the Cleveland Browns team.
So the field goal from 19 yards is up and good for Todd Peterson. What a great challenge by Butch Davis, and Stewart is a lonely man on that Pittsburgh sideline.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Pizza Hut. Go deep with the new Chicago dish, only at Pizza Hut. Wachovia Securities. Together we can achieve uncommon results. And by Formula 51. Coming soon to theaters. Rated R.
West Park, located in downtown Pittsburgh, where they start him early. That kid's got a pretty nice arm, too. Cordell Stewart, though, fumbling. A snap inside the Cleveland 5, and the Steelers have to settle for a 19-yard field goal. Pittsburgh sends it away. Here's Davis from the 9. And Davis breaks a tackle. Davis still running up to the 40. Gets to the 41. A 33-yard return. Mays with the tackle. And Pittsburgh allowing this Cleveland team to get good field position once again.
Hi. You ordered the Chicago dish, our new deep dish pizza? Now, I warn you, this is no ordinary pizza. This baby is so deep, you'll need a fork.
Sounds good.
Tired of wimpy, paper-thin pizzas? Next time, go deep with the Chicago Dish Pizza, new from Pizza Hut. Filled to the brim with layers of cheese, overloaded with toppings, and topped off with chunky marinara sauce. The new Chicago Dish. Go deep. So deep you'll need a fork, maybe even a knife.
Wow. You guys are really into your utensils.
You've got mail.
Know what you call someone who pays double for internet access? An AOL user.
You've got a choice.
There's only one internet. Why pay double to get it? NetZero gives you the internet for less than half the price of AOL. Only $9.95 a month. And you can download NetZero in just 2 minutes. NetZero. Get the access without the excess. Call 877 only $9.95 or visit netzero.com.
Keep it loose for every generation.
Access NFL.com now on America Online. Get live game day coverage and real-time stats at AOL keyword NFL.com.
Wednesday on CBS, the all-new Amazing Race begins. 12 new teams once around the planet on the adventure of a lifetime. Don't miss the season premiere of an all-new Amazing Race Wednesday at 9/8 Central on CBS.
They haven't traveled farther than our crew for the last year and a half.
No question. 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's the pitch, William Green. And the rookie keeps his feet and gets some positive yardage, about 4 on the play. Now this week, Phil Simms sets the record straight and says when a team loses, it's not always because of the quarterback. See Cordell Stewart. Read what else Phil has to say at NFL.com or on America Online. Enter keyword NFL.com.
What's Phil gonna say? It's all about the quarterback. No, I agree with Phil most of the time.
2nd down and 6 at the 44. 14 passes, 8 rushing attempts, 2-1 for the Browns. Couch underneath, wide open. Kevin Johnson finding a soft spot behind the linebackers, and he gets to the 48, a gain of 8, or in front of the linebackers. Larry Foote with the tackle. Let's take a look at the scores from around the National Football League. Week 4, Miami getting pounded by Kansas City. And I tell you what, Brent, the Chiefs have been putting up a lot of points this year.
They have. They just haven't been able to follow through to the end. You know, they got that lucky victory because Dwayne Rudd threw his helmet. I said I wasn't going to bring that up again.
Yeah, you did.
How about the Jets? What's going on there?
1st down and 10 for the Browns at the 48. Here's White over the left side looking for a hole, and White is tackled at the 45. Larry Foote once again. And remember, both teams have had close calls in this game. Quincy Morgan, a surefire touchdown, unable to hold on, and Tim Couch throwing this ball a little low for Kevin Johnson, and Cordell Stewart fumbling the snap at the 3. So both teams with chances.
And we're paid to second guess up here, but if I'm the Steelers, I still go on 4th and 1 because they came off the field defeated after kicking a field goal.
2nd down 7 at the 45. Tim Couch out of the shotgun looking. Couch. Flag on the play. Should be against Cleveland. Couch gets out of bounds. should be a holding call against the Browns, and it is. Ross Verba, number 77, holding Joey Porter.
And I wonder if he just got his arm on the back of Joey's jersey there,
holding,
because it didn't look like.
77 offense. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
And you know, Joey Porter's going to get off the line quickly, and that's exactly, there's that arm in the back. And you see, I don't even know if that's necessarily a hold, but Gus, when those officials see that arm on the back side of the jersey, they're going to just assume that you're grabbing the guy.
Looked like a hold to me.
Hey, you don't know holding. I'll show you hold.
Okay. No, okay, get out of here. Second down and 17 at the 45. Couch setting up a screen. White with a running lane. White, oh, White taken down. What a play by Mike Logan. Fought off a blocker and somehow reached around and pulled him to the ground.
And that was very impressive. Sean O'Hara watched the center get out and make the block on Logan, number 60, and watch Logan pop up. Even though the Jamel White gets some yards, look at that. That is effort. That's Pittsburgh Steeler football right there.
Tremendous play by the former Mountaineer from West Virginia. 3rd and 9 at the 47. They need to go to the 38 for a first down. Tim Couch underneath, intercepted. Joey Porter down the sideline, still running. Porter down to the 34. The Pittsburgh defense coming up with a big play.
And when we talk about the struggles for this Pittsburgh defense this year, we are not talking about Joey Porter. He has been the one-man band. His 3rd interception of the season. Return yards up over 100. Look at the juke. Little head fake, little dip. He's got it all. The next thing you know, he's going to want to play some offense.
2 weeks ago, Porter versus the Raiders had one of the greatest games a linebacker can play. 11 tackles, 10 solos, 3 sacks, and 2 interceptions. And a big interception
timeout.
Here.
Cleveland.
And Cleveland calls
timeout.
their second timeout, 1 remaining. The Steelers are in good shape at the Cleveland 34.
Hey, America, I'm the new 99-cent BK value menu. You know, I got 11 items for just 99 cents.
Let him hit first.
No, I'm not going to get in his way. I know when to shut up. My father always told me, you should be seen and not heard. Who likes chili? Well, that wasn't good.
The all-new BK value menu speaks for itself. Now, get 11 items for 99 cents every day. And have it your way in more ways.
They say the best things in life are free. Well, right now, every new 2002 Ford comes with no payments till 2003. Every car, truck, and SUV with nothing to pay till next year. Plus, choose interest-free financing or cash back up to $3,500. Hurry, this offer absolutely ends September 30th. So get yourself free. At your local Ford store today.
Monday, TV's best night of comedy gets even funnier. First, how far will the King of Queens go to impress his new neighbors?
We could capture them, lock them in our attic till they realize how delightful we are.
Then, after the hit comedy, Yes Dear, it's the Emmy-winning Raymond.
Mommy says no TV.
Don't worry about Mommy.
Turn it off, Ray.
And welcome to the hood. Parenthood.
You need to either run slower or get taller.
The series premiere of Still Standing on an all-new CBS Monday. And don't miss Dave on an all-new Late Show.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Gateway, where you've got a friend in the business. And by Burger King. Say hello to the new 99-cent BK value menu.
And Gus, this is how you capitalize on this spread offense. Watch the defensive backs. Chad Scott and Mike Logan. It looks like they're in coverage. They're coming on the blitz. The Browns only have one guy, Jamel White, to pick up 2 guys. Watch Joey Porter drop it into the middle. There's pressure on Tim Couch. There's Joey Porter. Couch is getting pressure in his face, throwing that crossing route. Joey Porter dropping in pass coverage. So you've got to get more of your nickel guys, safeties corner coming off that blind Porter in Tim Couch's face.
First down and 10 for the Steelers at the Cleveland 34. Stewart looking up top for Hines Ward, incomplete. No flag on the play. And there was a little contact from both men.
Well, I think Hines Ward went right for the head. Watch Hines Ward. This is what you call an aggressive receiver. Grab him by the neck and throw him down. Well, and if he would have cut the ball, Hines would have got up and said, there's no interference. And look at Hines Ward's laughing, heading back to the huddle. Got away with one. It's the old neck lock.
Second down, 10 at the 34. Chris Fuamatama-Fala, Amos Zaraway in the backfield. Here's the quarterback draw. Stewart with a lot of running room. Stewart gets a first down. A 9-yard pickup.
And that's the third time today, Gus, we've seen the quarterback draw, something that we hadn't seen as much these last couple games for the Steelers, and that's part of what they do. And it's tough to have your quarterback running in there, you know, going ahead against linebackers taking shots. But, hey, Cordell Stewart is one heck of an athlete, and that's part of his game. And you got to turn him loose. And I think the Steelers, it's really helped loosen some things up, loosen up the secondary for this Cleveland Browns defense.
Third down, 1. Let's see if the Steelers can capitalize on the turnover without making mistakes. Stewart gives it to Bettis, looking for the first down, and Bettis spins forward. He may have it. Gerard Warren, first man to him.
Now, how about that collision between Gerard Warren and the bus? And that is a couple of monsters going head to head. And Jerome Bettis does a great job of keeping his legs moving, and he will bounce off of contact all the time. Spin move, keep those legs going. And I think on this occasion, Gus, he's going to come up maybe half a ball short.
So that takes us to the 2-minute warning, and we'll see if Bettis had enough for the first right after this.
With their incredible power, sleek design, and affordable prices, Gateway's new computers are a great value. But now they're a better value than ever. Because right now at your local Gateway store, you can get a $100 instant rebate on any PC in stock. Stop by a Gateway store today.
And welcome back. And don't forget, coming up on the Nextel Halftime Report, join Jim Nantz and company, along with special guest Peyton Manning, for all the scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Nextel Halftime Report. Fourth down and inches for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they have elected to go for it.
You think you're going to see the bus?
No, you won't this time. Stewart leads forward, looking for the first down. Courtney Brown grabs him. And I believe they have it.
Now, that's a gutsy call by the Steelers, because we saw Cordell fumble that last one down inside the 1. And see, sometimes when you're called on to carry the ball, you're going to want to take that step before that ball comes up. Cordell having to have a lot of patience there. And it's just nice to be able to get the snap and get some yardage going forward. I think they got it.
So they prepare to bring out the chains to measure.
Gus, it's closer than I thought it would be. I don't know if they gave him the greatest mark in the world here.
Whoa, did they get it? Wow. And they did. Literally by the nose of the football.
That's right. If any part of that ball, you need to see space in between the yard marker and the ball. You couldn't see it. And here's Cordell Stewart running off the left side. Jeff Harting's getting a big block, and you see the bus pushing him forward. Everybody in there mixing it up.
So first down for the Steelers at the Cleveland 24. Stewart to pass to the sideline. Burris catch and turns it up, and he gets to the 7. Plexico Burress taken down by Corey Fuller. Well, Plexico came into this game with only 2 catches. He's got more than that today.
And Gus, watch him coming out of the outbreak. Watch him catch it and get upfield immediately back inside. He almost actually ran by the defensive backs for the Cleveland Browns. Great transition. Plexico Burress, you just see him more familiar, more comfortable with his body. He's a big, tall, wide receiver. He's got some great speed.
He actually has 3 catches, folks. First down goal at the 8. Here's Bettis, and Bettis goes nowhere. May have lost a yard on the play. Earl Holmes making the stop. Grabbed him in the backfield.
The king of trash talking. That's what Joey Porter told us. And said, he talked about the legacy of working under Earl Holmes for all these years. And I said, hey, what do you teach him? He said, how to trash talk.
Pittsburgh calls a timeout with 36 seconds left in the first half.
My primary job here is to support the task force, but you can tell from the bullet holes that it took a lot of work to remove the Taliban from this compound. Back in '95, I was in Annapolis, Maryland. I got recruited as a cornerback. Was ranked in the top 10 kickoff returns my sophomore year. What's going on, Coach? Well, actually, I'm sitting here right now in Afghanistan. The same mentality that you use, out on the football field, you use, here getting the job done in Afghanistan.
6-3 Cleveland. 36 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Second and goal, rather, from the 9 for the Steelers. They have 1 timeout left. What do you want to run down?
Well, you don't want to run. That's exactly right. You've got to throw the ball. In fact, maybe that last play, you had to burn a timeout. And this is the time with 36 seconds before half. You got to take your cracks into the end zone.
Bettis in motion out of the backfield. Stewart looking. Stewart. And he skips that one to Hines Ward.
And you know what I always like down here? And you're going to get a chance seeing Hines Ward on Dalen McCutcheon. And he's going to come back late. There he is. He's open. Supposed to have safety help over the top. But you know the play I like down here? I like Plexico Burress. He's so tall. He's got such a reach advantage on some of these smaller Cleveland defensive backs. If there's a way you can get him out on Dalen McCutcheon or even Corey Fuller, hey, throw the ball up there. Let the big man go up and bring it down. That's what you want to do if you've got a receiver that's that tall.
He's being guarded by Corey Fuller. And another timeout call by the Steelers, their final timeout.
CBS Tonight.
Having fun?
Tom Cruise, Anthony Hopkins, Mission Impossible 2, the network television premiere, CBS Tonight. Tuesday, a Jewish Marine joins the Israeli army. Is it an act of courage or treason?
Corporal has no idea how much trouble he's in.
All new Jag. Then a boy is accused of a brutal crime. Now attorney Nick Fallon must defend a monster.
I don't think there's many people I can hurt now, except you.
All new Guardian after Jag, CBS Tuesday.
And you know, Brent, a lot of confusion on that Pittsburgh sideline.
And one of the things, Gus, with no timeouts left, now that you burned them, you're going to have to get that field goal team ready to run on the field and make it all happen with the clock winding down. So that focus on that field goal team and Todd Peterson coming off the sideline if indeed the ball isn't incomplete or out of bounds.
So Plexico Burress lines up at the top of your screen with Corey Fuller. Third down goal at the 9. Here's Stewart looking, fires, incomplete. Incomplete. So here comes the field goal unit.
And our man Anthony Henry out there defending on the play. He only had 10 interceptions last year.
Led the AFC, tied for first in the league with the 10 interceptions. And here's Peterson.
And I was talking to Peterson before the game. You know, the winds down here are really interesting at Heinz Field. He says the ball tends to drift a little left here at this end of the stadium.
A 27-yard attempt. It's up and perfect. So there you have it. Both teams with chances to get it into the end zone in the first half, but neither able to do it. neither able to capitalize. 6-6 the score as you take a look at the drive. 9 plays covering 25 yards. The Joey Porter interception set it up. Saturday, though, beginning at noon Eastern, the Home Depot SEC on CBS sizzles with doubleheader excitement. First, Rex Grossman and the Florida Gators tangle with Eli Manning and the Rebels of Ole Miss. Then the Georgia Bulldogs take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. That's next Saturday, right here on CBS. Bettis and Stewart having a discussion.
Give me the ball, Cordell. You're right, Bus. I'll get it to you. And, you know, we talked about that fumble down the goal line. And sometimes, guys, you don't know if that's the quarterback's fault. A lot of times the center doesn't get it up because he's worried about his block. And, of course, the blame's going to always go on Cordell. That's kind of been the thing. And he told us, hey, I'm not going to be the scapegoat. I'm not playing my best football. But a lot of guys aren't. This is a team game. And I know you mentioned about his feelings and all that. And he said, hey, my feelings were flushed down the toilet a long time ago. I'm just here to play some ball.
Pittsburgh ready to send it away, and they squib it. Flag on the play. Quincy Morgan picks it up. Morgan, and he's dropped at the 25, but a flag.
And we've seen the Steelers come up with some untimely penalties. Not that this one can hurt you, but boy, to give the Browns returners a chance at having another crack at it isn't exactly what you want to do at this point in the half.
Offside, number 34 of the kicking team. That's a 5-yard penalty and a re-kick.
Ron Hayes, don't forget, coming up on the Nextel halftime report, Jim Nance, Deion Sanders, Dan Marino, Boomer Esiason, and also our special guest, Peyton Manning of the Indianapolis Colts. We'll have scores and highlights for you.
How about Peyton Manning showing those guys how to do a little play-action faking?
Yes,
I think Boomer already knows the deal.
He may be the best ever.
He might be, but you know what? I'm going to call Dan out. Dan never had anybody to play action fake too, so he never worried about it. He was going along like, yeah, play action fake. I don't think so, Danny.
Pittsburgh re-kicking. And the squib once again, the toss back. Jamel White gets it to midfield, gets it inside Steelers territory. So Cleveland takes over at the 48. 10 seconds to go. They do have one timeout.
And that timeout, Gus, is crucial because you can run a deep over route 12 to 15 yards in the middle of the field. You don't have to use the sideline, and you can call a timeout and bring in your kicker, Phil Dawson, and take a chance at a 50-plus yarder. But that penalty on the kickoff can come back to haunt you.
First down and 10 at the Pittsburgh 48. 4-receiver package. Couch. And he gets Northcutt out of bounds at the 42.
And you see Dennis Northcutt just go ahead and slip out before he gets it upfield. Otherwise, he would have got another 4 or 5 yards. And this would be, Gus, a 60-yarder for Phil Dawson. And so with 3 seconds left, it looks like the Browns are just going to heave it up because you're not going to be able to get a play off and get your field goal kicker out on time, even using the sideline at this point. So here comes the old Hail Mary Big Ben. With these receivers, you never know.
Dawson's career long 52, so well out of his range. Final play of the second quarter. Couch lets it go. And it is caught at the 5-yard, intercepted at the 5 by Chad Scott. And that's the end of the first half with the score. Cleveland 6, Pittsburgh 6. Jim and company will be along after this message and a word from your local station.
You got it, the Cordell Stewart. You're talking about quarterbacks having bad experiences, but the guy is really protecting the ball today. He's good. He's completing some passes. Main thing, he has not turned over the football, and they're trying to run the bus, but the other guys, as a team effort, they combined for 52 yards rushing, which controls the clock a bit. So Cordell Stewart is doing a good job of protecting the ball.
All right, let's take everybody around the NFL today and update those injuries.
Don't miss Jag, Tuesday on
Scores, highlights, and all the action. News 3 Sports.
Back at Heinz Field in downtown Pittsburgh, where the score is 6-6 between the Browns and the Steelers. Gus Johnson and Brent Jones with you, and neither team able to capitalize on great opportunities.
Yeah, you know what? When you get down in the red zone, you got to come away with touchdowns. That's the backbreaker. That's the thing that gives you momentum. Both these teams had some opportunities. Cleveland in the first quarter and Pittsburgh in the second. And, you know, the red zone, we're defining that, Gus, as inside the 20-yard line. Cleveland had the ball in the Pittsburgh 11-3 and came away with field goals. And Pittsburgh had the ball in the Cleveland 9 and the Cleveland 1. We saw that exchange problem between Cordell Stewart and Jeff Hartines. And those things come away with field goals. You feel like you're defeated. You know, you make some nice drives down the field, but, you know, you got to put the dagger in, and the dagger is touchdowns.
Does anybody have an emotional advantage as we get ready to start the second half or some momentum?
You know, I don't necessarily think so. I really felt like in the first quarter, Cleveland really had it, and then Pittsburgh gained some of it back. You know, the big interception by Joey Porter and to be able to tie the game up before halftime, I think just kind of made it pretty even here going into the second half. So there's nothing that you can point to, and we saw the stats. They look pretty even across the board. So look for more of the same here. And I think when you talk about what Cordell Stewart has to do, just continue to do the same things. You know, don't force the ball. A few more quarterback draws, get the ball to the bus, and that's what you like to do.
Bus, 10 carries, 22 yards.
You know, and you like the bus to get 25 carries, and, you know, they've kind of spread it out a little bit, and there's Heinz Ward. That's a big part of it. He's catching some balls, as well as Plexico Burris. But you got to just keep continuing doing the things that you do. But when you get inside the red zone, you got to call plays designed for touchdowns. You just can't come away with 3 in a game like this. For Tim Couch and the Browns, I think that they've had their most success when they've spread the offense and put pressure on the Pittsburgh defense, although you've got to be alert for those nickel backs coming, the safeties and corners coming off from the blind side, and just keep getting the ball underneath.
Steelers send it away. This one scooped up at the 25 by Campbell, and Campbell gets up to the 39, and the Browns will start with great field position once again as Tim Couch trots onto the field, rather walks onto the field, 8 of 17, 90 yards, 2 interceptions, and you really can't count the interception at the end of the half. He just threw it up.
Yeah, that's a throwaway. Shouldn't count. You feel bad for these quarterbacks to get those tacked on their statistics.
And White with 3 catches for 62 yards, 3 runs rather for 62 yards. Remember, he had the big 54-yard gallop. First down and 10 for the Browns at their own 39. Here's the pitch. White following his blocks, and he goes out of bounds. James Ferrier pushing him out of bounds. But Jamel White, what an interesting story. Here's a young man that is in his 3rd year out of South Dakota, and he was claimed off waivers from Indianapolis. And in Indianapolis with the great Edgerrin James, no room for this guy, but he's found a home in the city of Cleveland.
And we saw his burst when he ran the ball and got some significant yardage against the tough Steelers run defense, but he's a real weapon coming out of the backfield and catching the ball as well.
Second down 9 at the 40. Couch to pass on second down, looking underneath, caught by Campbell. Mark Campbell taken down immediately, though, by Joey Porter.
And let's be Joey Porter, Gus, for a second on defense. You drop back into the zone. Here comes the tight end crossing your area. Come flying up, make the tackle, wrap up, make it happen. And we talked about Joey having 3 interceptions this year, making some key pressures. But, you know, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you don't want Joey Porter dropping in pass coverage. You want him blitzing the quarterback. That's where he can really hurt you.
Third down 6 at the 43. Here's Couch. Steps up, in trouble, and Couch wrestled to the ground. Kimo von Oelhoffen on top. Clark Hagan's on the bottom. 3rd sack of the day for the Steelers.
And I'm not so sure that that wasn't a coverage sack. Tim Couch getting time to get back, set his feet, and watch 53 Clark Hagens and 67 Kimo von Oelhoffen. Here's Hagens coming on the outside, dipping down, and Oelhoffen inside, Jason Gilden, and everybody wants a piece of that sack.
Chris Gardocki on the punt for the first time today. 837 punts without a block punt. That's an NFL record. And he spirals this one down the field. Randall L. from the 11, and he is stopped at the 17. Lewis Sanders with the special teams tackle. Here comes Cordell.
Jeep 4x4s. They even make paved roads feel safer.
CBS Thursday, a Survivor challenge so intense.
He's a weak little whiny punk.
The tribes are at each other's throats, literally. All new Survivor, CBS Thursday.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Pittsburgh trying to stave off starting the season 0-3. We talked to Bill Cowher. He said, no, this isn't a must win, but he had that look in his eye as if he were saying, you know, it actually is a must win. And he has no problems letting his quarterback know that if he doesn't step up and make some plays, Cordell Stewart will be sitting on the bench and Tommy Maddox will get an opportunity. Here's Stewart at the sideline, caught by Hines Ward, and Hines Ward gets up to the 25. So if you have to evaluate Cordell Stewart's play in the first half, Brent, as Bill Cowher, what do you say?
Well, I think it's been solid. I think he's hit the receivers on the numbers when he's had to. Got some pressure early, and then he's been able to get the ball to Jerome Bettis out of the backfield. And so other than that one mishandled snap, and we're not sure that that was his fault, I think he's turned in a solid performance. He's not trying to do too much, make those that he's not capable of making. You see Tommy Maddox on the sideline. He's not warming up. He's just watching the game.
Second down and 2. Here's Bettis. And Bettis is tackled maybe a yard on the play. Orpheus Roy stopping him. And this Cleveland defense, especially the two guys in the middle, Gerard Warren and Orpheus Roy, getting a good push in the center of the Pittsburgh offensive line.
They sure are. This Pittsburgh offensive line was one of the best in the league last year, and it just doesn't seem to me yet that this Steelers team is playing Steelers football, and that's dominated the line of scrimmage both offensively and defensively and really hit you hard. When you play the Pittsburgh Steelers, you know that you played them on Sunday and Monday and Tuesday. You still feel it.
Here's the quick option play, and Randall L. making the first man miss, dives forward, and let's see where they spot it. Flags all over the field.
And they're going to call Plexico Burris, Gus, for a hold, and I don't think Plexico was holding, but he came in from the back, might have had his hand on a defensive back for the Browns. You can't allow your hands to slip onto the back of a player, because every time officials see it, they're going to call it. And Plexico's saying there's no way, I did not hold.
holding, 80 offense. 10-yard penalty, still third down.
And he's frustrated because he thinks he made a good block. Here we go. There's Plexico right there on Corey Fuller. Let's see it. Okay. And there's a little jersey, and Corey Fuller does the smart thing. He goes down. And if somebody's got some jersey, just fall down. And Plexico threw his hands up. You throw your hands up, man, everybody's coming right after you.
Third down 11 at the 17. They need to go to the 28. 3-receiver package. Here's Stewart. Time to throw up the sideline. Incomplete. He couldn't keep both feet in bounds. Plexico Burris. And the Steelers have to punt it away.
And you know what? That was one heck of a throw by Cordell Stewart on a deep comeback route. And let's see if Plexico keeps his feet in. Gets the ball. Looks like that front toe.
Didn't seem like he got the back one in.
Well, you know what? I just think that front toe lands on the stripe right there. Because he looked like he dragged the back one to me. And that's a little bit glary into the replay system. And Coach, if you challenge that one, you're going to lose a timeout. Don't do it.
He's thinking about it.
And get that red flag back in your pocket.
Yeah, right. He was out of bounds.
Yep, right on the white.
Josh Miller inside his own 5. Left-footed punter. It's a wobbly kick. Takes a bounce. And the Steelers down it at the 42. A 41-yard punt. 11:08 to go, third quarter.
Are you ready for 623 channels?
It's good to do things yourself, but you ought to do your homework first. Same thing with the stock market. Check out TD Waterhouse, ranked #1 for do-it-yourself investors. Because you've got to learn before you can earn.
TD Waterhouse, you're in control.
So let's turn to page 7 of our proposal, where we feel...
Page 7?
Should be the next page you have.
We don't see it. No.
Hold on.
There it is.
Introducing Chrysler PT Cruiser Turbo. With an all-new 215 horsepower turbocharged engine, it can get you cross-town, cross-country, anywhere in the blink of an eye.
Let's move on to page 11.
Page 11?
Turn to page 94 in the middle of the book. Look at the numbers for LatAm. Hello? We will get into that in the second hour.
The network's down. I have to go.
I wouldn't want her job.
How long do you figure this excuse is good for?
Let's hope till we get to Maui.
IBM and Linux make your network practically bulletproof. Everybody should know that.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Jeep, the most respected, honored, and heroic 4x4s out there. Only in a Jeep 4x4. TD Waterhouse, all the tools and services to keep you in control of your finances. And by IBM, e-business is the game. Play to win.
Spectacular pictures being provided by the Akron-based blimp Spirit of Goodyear. Providing aerial views of today's game, the Goodyear blimp, a familiar sight in the American sky since 1925. Tim Couch on first down, dancing out of the pocket and throws it away. So all of a sudden, Tim Lewis, the defensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers, had 2 weeks to prepare, and you can tell that some of the preparation is paying off because now there's some confusion on the part of this Cleveland team when they try to spread it out.
And I like what Tim Lewis had to say to you, and he's sitting there in between the screen. Yeah, it's a pretty good circle. He said, hey, last year I had the #1 defense and nobody wanted to talk to me. Now all the networks, all the radio stations, everybody wants to talk to me and say what's wrong. It's too early in the season to get that. They made the adjustments. They have the bye week. Let's go out and play some ball.
2nd and 10 at the 42. Couch again, throwing it underneath. White with the catch. And White is chopped down at the 40. Jason Gilden with the tackle, a 3-yard pickup.
And we talked about the Steelers having the bye week last week, and you see some of the possessions here in the first half. A couple field goals there in the first half, the first quarter, and then they stalled out a little bit. But Shoot, those Pittsburgh Steelers, you don't usually like the bye week in the third week of the season. You want to wait till you're banged up and need the rest. They needed it mentally. The coaching staff, the players, they needed to regroup and get this offense and defense together. It was the best time for them.
3rd and 7 at the 45. Here's Couch underneath, incomplete. Quincy Morgan, the intended receiver, but Dwayne Washington was there. And the Browns have to punt.
Tim Couch throwing that deep slant route, and Quincy hangs on to that one. They got a big first down, and they just haven't been able to convert here. Quincy's had a couple today that he would have liked to have held on to, but still making a big impact on this Cleveland Browns offense this year.
Gardocki at the 30. Antoine Randall at the 11. High spiraling kick. Randall will get a chance. Flag on the play. Here's Antoine Randall looking for a crease, and he crawls to the 20-yard line, an 11-yard return on a 46-yard punt.
And it looks like the Steelers were holding, Gus, and I'm just wondering if they're going to call it prior to the kick. That's rarely called in the league. Usually it's after the change of possession. But if it was called prior to the kick, the Browns would hang on to the ball and have a first down. That flag came out awful early. And it looks like the Steelers are going to hang on to a post-possession foul.
Holding 26 of the return team during a punt. That's half the distance from the goal, from the spot that possession changed. First down.
So while we march it off, we'll head to commercial on a beautiful day in Pittsburgh where these rivals are standing toe-to-toe.
The 200 horsepower Chrysler Sebring convertible. Now from Chrysler, our 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty, because love is a commitment.
Pizza! In my family, if one wants pizza, the other wants Chinese. Even their stomachs don't agree. If one gets indigestion, the other one gets heartburn. If one gets nausea, the other one gets... well, so I get Pepto-Bismol. As it coats, it relieves heartburn, indigestion, upset stomachs, nausea, and diarrhea. It'd take a box full of other medicines to do what Pepto-Bismol does. Agree?
Agree. Pepto-Bismol, first aid for heartburn, diarrhea, nausea, indigestion, and upset stomachs.
Okay, you got your file folders, pens, paper, toner. Let's get you some printer labels, and you'll be all set.
Jeff Spillane, very underrated.
Here's a guy whose knowledge of thousands of office products has quite frankly changed the way people shop.
These attacks were highly organized, the victims carefully chosen.
On October 4th, experience the first chapter.
It's the Grand Prix Americas when names like Cristiano de Mata and Michael Andretti, they're expected to lead the pack at the CART FedEx Grand Prix Americas next Sunday right here on CBS Sports, beginning at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Check your local listings. First down and 10 at the 5 for Cordell Stewart and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Stewart passing over the middle, throws a dart, caught at the 20. Hines Ward gets up and flexes a bit as he picked up 15.
And that's not an easy throw, especially backed up in your own end zone. And we've seen Cordell make a couple of real tough passes today, putting it right on the numbers. It's got to be disheartening dropping into your own end zone and throwing that ball and just making sure it's going to come up in the hands of one of your own players.
Player down on the field, 9:49 to go in the third. It's Dalen McCutcheon. Back right after this.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with a crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. And by Nextel. Nextel, how business gets done.
Welcome back to Heinz Field. Gus Johnson, Brent Jones with you. Corey Fuller is out of the game with a hamstring injury. Dalen McCutcheon has been taken to the sideline. They're checking him out. And that brings on Lewis Sanders, third-year man out of Maryland, to replace him at left corner. Here's the handoff to Bettis. And Bettis swarmed under. Orpheus Roy having an outstanding game. And here's the last play.
And watch out for Robert Griffith, 24, maybe the hardest hitting strong safety in the National Football League. Little friendly fire, bang, take two.
And you know about Robert Griffith.
I do know about Robert Griffith. Caught me under the chin my last season in San Francisco, bit right through my mouthpiece, went in and had to have stitches in my tongue. Did you know they did stitches in your tongue? I thought they were teasing.
Is that the way we keep you quiet?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Second down and 11 at the 19. Cordell Stewart pumping, rolling, throwing on the run at the 20-yard line. And it's a 1-yard pickup. But Stewart doing a good job getting out of the pocket. He was in trouble, and that'll bring up third down and 10 at the 20.
And Gus, most teams, when you lose your two starting corners, you're in a whole world of hurt. But the Cleveland Browns have a couple guys backing up that can play some ball. Lewis Sanders and Anthony Henry. Anthony Henry had 10, count them, 10 interceptions last year. He was trying to bait Cordell Stewart into throwing that last one. Watch out for Anthony Henry because he is a big play corner.
So third down, 10 at the 20. They need to go to the 30. Stewart. And that will bat it down. And the fans did not like the play calling there.
Well, they were trying to set up a screen pass, but one thing you got to do as an offensive lineman when you run a screen, you got to slow down the defensive lineman. Nobody blocks Courtney Brown. He gets back too quick. You see him being passed off, and he gets right into the play, right into the throwing lane. You got to block him first, and that's why screens are so tough to set up and run. The timing has to be impeccable. You got to hold your block for 2 counts before you sneak out there.
Josh Miller at the 6. Dennis Northcutt at the 36. And Miller gets off a bomb. Northcutt backpedaling all the way inside his 15. And the reverse. Here's the reverse. Sanders. And Sanders gets up to the 35. Lewis Sanders on the reverse. A 63-yard punt and an 18-yard return. 1 to go, third quarter. This game remains tied at 6. Browns take over at their own 36. First down. They spread it out again. Here's Couch passing on first down. Looking for the home run. White out of the backfield. Incomplete. He had it. Just couldn't hold on right in front of Chad Scott.
And watch Jamel White try to use his body and shield Scott from the ball. Almost pulls it off. Ball actually came right into his hands.
And I believe he injured his right wrist.
And you see him moving it around right there, trying to flex it and see if it's okay. And watch it now. If he has to carry the ball, how tight of a grip is he going to have on that ball? Because right wrist is bothering him.
Second and 10 at the 36. Couch 10 of 22, 96 yards. Quincy Morgan in motion. Here's the pitch. White taking his time, sets it up, and gets to the 35, make it the 37.
Hey, Gus, and I like that punt reverse that the Browns ran to Lewis Sanders, but watch some of this blocking setup. It's tough to make things happen on special teams. But watch Darren Hambrick right here. There is a wall. If he starts leading up, there's one player right here for Pittsburgh. It is a touchdown. There is nobody down this sideline. And you see Sanders have to cut back in, but
and he didn't.
He just came off the field playing some D and lead up the field.
Third down 9. Here's Couch looking to the sideline. Caught, but not enough for first down. Chad Scott there defensively on Kevin Johnson. An 8-yard gain. They needed 9.
Well, that was the prettiest 8-yard gain you're going to see today. KJ always gets up and makes the catch, and Tim Couch has been spreading the ball around a little bit, but man, you sure got to make sure that you know where those first down markers, that is crucial, are in this game. Boy, you got to know where those are.
Both of these teams waiting for somebody to come up with a big play. Let's see if he can be Randall L. He signals for the fair catch and has it at the 22, a 33-yard punt. Thursday on Survivor, don't miss a challenge so intense the tribes will be at each other's throats, literally. The original and still the best, an all-new Survivor Thursday at 8, 7 Central on CBS.
Do a little blocking and tackling on Survivor. I like it. So one of those fellas go low. It's all about leverage. Get lower than the guy next to you.
First down and 10 for Cordell and the Steelers at their own 22. Chris Fuamatama-Fala, but Eatman now. Stewart passing over the middle. Bruner incomplete. That one thrown a little too high for Mark Bruner. Devin Bush, the safety, in on the play. So here's a question for you, Brent. Which rookie has made the biggest impact thus far this season? Deion Branch with New England, Andre Davis with the Browns, Randy McMichael, Julius Peppers, Clinton Portis, or Dante Stallworth? Cast your vote at NFL.com. Who do you pick?
Oh, I'd love to pick Andre Davis. He's doing such a great job out there, but I think a guy like Clinton Portis getting so many carries and in on every play and getting a lot of touches for the Broncos has to be the guy here early in the season.
They flip it out. Antoine Randall, he should have been on that list. He gets to the 27-yard line. Are they still shooting it out in Kansas City? Let's see. Here's Jim Nantz.
Yes, they are. The Chiefs were up 31-16 behind 3 touchdown passes by Trent Green, but right back the Dolphins score behind Ricky Williams. 31-23, third quarter. And by the way, my vote goes for Dante Stallworth, who's in today for the 4th straight game. He's caught a touchdown for the Saints. Let's go back to you guys.
Oh, how about that? Saints trying to rally against the Silver Rush.
Well, how about next week we'll have Dante Stallworth in the Saints against these Pittsburgh Steelers.
And here's Stewart to the sideline. Fuamatama-Fala unable to make the catch. Flag, though, in the secondary at the 45. And this should go against the Browns. Against Cleveland.
Holding 43 of the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, the New York Jets have been struggling this season at Jacksonville today. Here's Jim Nantz again.
All right, Stacey Mack has scored 3 touchdowns for the Jags, but Fred Taylor has done the heavy lifting right up across the middle. Through the Jets secondary he goes. He's over 100 on the day, and the Jags are blowing out the Jets. Let's go back
Fred
again to
Taylor's
you guys.
Staying healthy for a change.
Yes.
Oh, you know what it is?
What is it?
Contract year.
Contract year. And I don't know about the New York Jets. First down and 10 at the 32. Here's Fuamatama-Fala quickly through the hole. And the Foo Man. Those aren't boos, those are foos. He gets close to the 40, a 6-yard pickup. And we have to say something, Brent. We picked up an interesting shirt yesterday. You picked it up. And it was almost like a tribute to Chris Fuamatama-Fala. And we feel that we were directly responsible for it.
Just a little play on words last year in one of the Steelers games. We had several, and gee, I think they made a shirt out of one of your sayings.
Yeah, the John Shaft, Chris Fuamatama-Fala is a bad malafala.
Can you say that on TV?
Yeah, you can say that, because
okay.
he is.
He is. That's exactly
a bad
right.
malafala.
Chris getting a little airborne right there. You know, it's amazing how Fuamatama-Fala now rolls off my tongue.
Yeah, you do that pretty well now.
It's not even an issue anymore. We've done so many Steelers games.
For Jim Nantz, everything rolls off his tongue easily. Let's go to him again in New York.
All right, thank you, Gus. And the Houston Texans scored their 2nd touchdown of the day. And again, it's Corey Bradford. He has 3 of their 4 touchdowns on the season. But the Eagles doubling up the Texans at the moment. Let's go back to you.
All right, so the offense starting to come around a little bit for Chris Palmer's Houston Texans. A couple of big touchdowns. Last week we had them against Indianapolis, and the offense struggled as Rodgers is taken off the field. Tyrone Rodgers, third-year man out of Alabama State. Had 6 sacks last year.
Second down and 3.
And the big fella is a little woozy. Second down and 3 at the 39. Jerome Bettis out of the game. Here's Randall L. He wants to throw it backwards. Nowhere to go, and he just dumps it. Good decision by Antoine Randall L.
And it was actually a throwback to Cordell Stewart. And Darren Hambrick was all over it. And gosh, have you ever seen a wide receiver intentionally ground the ball?
Well, that's because he played a lot of quarterback in college.
That was pretty darn close. That's right. But he was looking for the Cordell Stewart, but the Browns were as well. And I wonder if Bush Davis isn't questioning whether Randall L. throws the ball backwards.
No, he threw it forward.
He threw it forward. Not even close. And there's Cordell Stewart. Was off on the right-hand side.
Third down and 3. Stewart looking. He finds Ward. And he gets the first down. And I tell you what, you look into the eyes of Hines Ward, and he's a little guy, only 6 feet. But he's got that look in his eye where sometimes you may say, this guy isn't playing with a full deck. He's got that crazy look sometimes.
Well, when you go across the middle in this league, you've got to be playing with sometimes a half deck. And you've got to want the ball so bad and just not care about your body and give it up. And that's really what Hines Ward does. And I think he surprises a lot of people. He's got better speed than people realize. Some great moves, some great shake and bake, but he's a gutsy ball player.
Really tough-nosed kid. The handoff to Matamafala. And Fuamatamafala getting a lot of carries here in the third quarter. We talked to Jerome Bettis a couple of days ago, and he said he has kind of a, and I'm quoting him, a hamstring butt injury. And Bettis on the sideline, he still may be having some problems with that that injury.
No, I don't see any ice on his hamstring area, though, so you got to think that they're probably just giving him a little bit of a breather for a series and maybe get him fresh here for the fourth quarter.
12 carries, 22 yards for the Bus. 2nd and 9 at the 48. Stewart, short drop, fires, and Plexico Burris tried to change directions and lost his footing.
Now Cordell threw that on his upfield shoulder. But Plexico lost his footing, and it'll go as an incomplete pass. That's not necessarily Cordell's fault. He's just leading it and putting it on his number, allow him to get some momentum going upfield. And you see the stats on Cordell today. And really the biggest thing, no interceptions, not trying to force balls where he shouldn't. And he's made a couple of really nice throws, a couple out routes, a couple comebacks, one across the middle.
3rd down 9 at the 48. They need to go to the Cleveland 43 for a first down. Stewart fires over the middle. It is broken up. That one underthrown, intended for Plexico Burris. Stewart under all kinds of pressure. Kennard Lang getting to him.
And watch the guts that Cordell Stewart is going to have in the pocket. And you see Plexico Burris outside getting held up. Anthony Henry, and we talked about Anthony Henry and his coverage ability. And Cordell Stewart knows he's going to take a shot, and he hung in as long as he could, and that is a shot by Kennard Lang. And that's not Cordell Stewart's fault either. Someone's got to pick up Kennard Lang looping around.
Josh Miller has it blocked! Loose ball! Farrier picks it up, but Kevin Bentley getting in and blocking the punt, and Butch Davis will take it.
And the rookie linebacker, Gus, looks like he just shot right up the middle. And let's watch from the ground level. He's right here in the middle, just going right through the double team. Very impressive move. The big linebacker staying low. and getting in and timing it perfect. Look at that, laying out. That's getting some air right there.
Rookie fourth-round pick out of Northwestern. Cleveland starts at the Pittsburgh 41. They hand it off. And this is William Green, the rookie. Picks up positive yardage.
William Green, the ball carrier. Tackled by Ferrier. Gain of 3. Second down and 7 at the 38.
So both teams unable to score 6 points. Cleveland got on the board first with a Phil Dawson 28-yarder. Then Dawson added another 28-yarder. And Pittsburgh answered with 2 Peterson field goals. 2nd and 7 at the 38. A handoff to White. And White taken down by Porter from behind at the 32.
Well, you got to just like the way that Jamel White plays this game. Full speed all the time, very impressive. Hitting the hole right when he sees it. He's coming through it right now. He's not waiting. He's not hesitating. And that's one of the things that experience gives you. You know the plays, you know the holes, you know how things develop. And eventually William Green's going to be able to do those same things Butch Davis promised us.
White 6 carries, 70 yards. And they measure. They'll be a little short of the first down. 3rd down and inches.
Now these are the times where you'd love a big bruising fullback to be able to carry the ball. The Browns, use Aaron Shea kind of as an H-back, fullback / tight end, and not necessarily a ball carrier. And so you got to have somebody to
3rd down, less than a yard.
Pound it in there. And William Green, your first round pick. Do you want your rookie running in there? Hesitation. You can't afford hesitation on short yardage, Gus.
They keep Jamel White in the game.
Absolutely.
3rd and inches. Fans getting into it. And Couch sneaks forward. He gets to the 30.
And initially stopped, and Tim's going to use his own Jerome Bettis spin move.
Gain of a yard. 1st and 10.
So Couch gains a yard and picks up the first down.
And I don't know if people realize how tough Tim Couch is. And we've seen him since the rebirth of this franchise. And like we mentioned at the top of the show, it was just Tim Couch and Kevin Johnson. And Tim Couch continued to take shots, to have bad protection, to take blitzes and sacks, and stand in and try to make plays. And I really feel that baptism by fire approach, a la Troy Aikman with the Cowboys in '89 when they were 1-15, is really going to pay dividends for this young quarterback.
First down, and a timeout called by Cleveland. So that's their first. Flag is on the play as well, back at the 9-yard line.
And I wonder if they didn't get the timeout off before the clock ran out and that they're actually calling delay a game.
So in the meantime, we'd like to say congratulations to The Late Show, Emmy winner for Outstanding Variety Series for the 5th year in a row. Dave's all new this week. On Monday, don't miss Everybody Loves Raymond star Patricia Heaton. It's The Late Show right here on CBS.
How come Dave hasn't had us on yet?
Well, I think he's had Phil Simms and Greg Gumbel. Deion Sanders for sure.
He needs to use his weapons.
We're coming. Don't worry.
He needs to use his weapons.
We're
like
coming.
The Browns. Spread it out.
The flag was picked up. First down at the 30 for the Browns. Tim Couch looking to the sideline. Northcutt. Did he keep them both in? Yes, he did. What a great route.
And what a great bit of patience by Dennis Northcutt, just standing on the sidelines. You're going to watch him keep that left leg position, Gus, right along the sidelines, waiting for that ball. He knows he's going to take a shot. Watch that left leg just stay there, drag the right. And the Browns are getting up on the ball. They think it might be called back.
And Bill Cowher has thrown the red flag onto the field.
Boom, throw the red flag out. What I want to know, whatever happened to the buttons at the coach?
I don't think the button works too well.
I see a lot of red flags going on.
Pittsburgh is challenging the ruling on the field of a catch. We will take a look to see if it is or not.
To see if it is or not. I think Bernie wasn't so sure as well.
As simple
as that. In fast action, I thought he caught it. And I don't know if I like this angle. I don't know if we're going to have a better one. But you see that right foot dragging. That one definitely made it. It's whether that left stayed. And that was my initial reaction, is he did a great job of planting that left right there. But will it stay? Will it stay when he catches the ball? I don't know.
Wow.
You know, that toe could have been up before he had possession. Now remember, we've done so many replays.
Irrefutable.
You talk about shuffling along the sidelines. That was a game winner last week. And I think that we're going to call this a catch.
After reviewing the play, it is a catch. Both feet were down, and he had possession of the football.
And Pittsburgh has been charged with a timeout.
And you mentioned that great onside kick last week.
Let's take a look. Trailing 28-21 with 2:35 remaining. Phil Dawson with the onside kick, and watch his feet.
Wow. That was a bang-bang play. Of course, it was challenged by Jeff Fisher and Dennis Northcutt. What savvy for a young ball player to know to keep his feet in on the onside kick.
And that started the game-tying drive. First down and 10 at the 15. Couch pumping, looks backside, up top, broken up. Deshae Townsend. That one intended for Andre Davis.
And you got to give Deshae Townsend some credit, because I thought, here comes the wheel route, and he's going to bite on it, out and up. And Deshae Townsend, right on top of Andre Davis, goes up, makes the deflection, trying to get the pick. But that is some great coverage. And I think one of the things that we've seen today is much better coverage in the Steelers secondary. They're starting to play Steeler defense like you remembered it from last year.
Second down, 10 at the 15. 5 receivers in the game. They're spreading them out again. They flood that left side. Quick strike. Northcutt around the corner. Blazing speed. Dennis Northcutt inside the 5. Dwayne Washington with the catch, but he turned the corner in a New York second.
And watch Jamel White. Watch number 30, Jamel White on Lee Flowers, a strong safety. This is the block that makes it all possible. Now, it's not the prettiest thing. You get knocked back 2 yards, but you take Lee Flowers out of the play, allowing Northcutt to get up and get some big yardage.
And that should take us to the end of the third quarter. The score, Cleveland 6, Pittsburgh 6. We'll be back to Pittsburgh after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Be there tonight for the season premiere of 60 Minutes, when Leslie Stahl gets the first look at documents the Israelis seized from Arafat's headquarters. 60 Minutes tonight.
Tom Cruise, Anthony Hopkins, Mission Impossible 2, the network premiere tonight.
How many reasons do you share your day?
A look at the scoring by quarters, all field goals. And the Browns, though, trying to march it in. First down goal at the Pittsburgh 4. Here's the handoff. White, stutter step, gets in the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland.
And Gus, there is total silence here at Heinz Field, and you just don't see teams from the 4-yard line walk in against this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. And Jamel White setting everybody up outside and cutting back underneath. And can that young man hit a hole?
White 7 carries, 74 yards. Extra point is up and good. So with 14:57 to go in the fourth quarter, the Cleveland Browns march it in and lead 13-6.
What is that issue? All the issues are, sir. They changed their position. They're showing no flexibility. No flexibility.
This used to be the deadline, until Unisys Systems Integration bought the Wall Street Journal valuable extra time. Because only the latest
You
news
say you've reached an agreement.
Yeah.
CBS.
is the real news. Unisys. Imagine it done.
Never follow.
I love playing two-hand touch, eating way too much, watching my team win with the Twins. I love quarterbacks eating dirt, pom-poms and short skirts, fans who won't quit, and those Twins. And I love them too. Here's the football.
Last Monday, more than 23 million viewers made CSI Miami a hit. CBS Monday. Every CSI agent has one case that sticks with them forever. For CSI Miami, this is it.
Find the bomb, find the bomber.
There's a device. If you move, it could blow. The new hit series CSI Miami. All new CBS Monday.
The Browns able to capitalize after blocking a punt. And Jamel White scores a touchdown. 7-play drive, 41 yards, 4-yard touchdown run. 13-6 is the score. Randall at the 2. With the lane, Randall to the 30 and dropped at the 32. Anthony Henry with the special teams tackle. Here's the touchdown.
And Gus, linemen don't get enough credit. Watch left guard Barry Stokes. Here's James Ferrier, the middle linebacker responsible for cutback. Watch this block. He drives him out of the hole all the way back toward the end zone, allowing that cutback lane for Jamel White to bounce right up inside there, untouched, into the end zone.
First down for the Steelers at the 32. Tuamatama Fala in the backfield. They give it to him over the right side, and the Fu man over the 35 up to the 37. A 6-yard gain. Dwayne Rudd with the tackle. The Steelers normally not a team that plays well from behind. So Cordell Stewart and the offense, they've got to make something happen.
And Gus, just heading into the fourth quarter, you can't panic. You've got to be patient. Stick with your ground game. Stick with play action. Don't start throwing the ball 3, 4, 5 times in a row without Jerome Bettis in there, and start doing things that you're not capable of doing.
2nd and 4 at the 38. Again to the 42. Pushes the pile forward. Close to a first down. Earl Holmes with the tackle.
And Gus, we don't have any official word on why Jerome Bettis isn't in the game, but like he had mentioned to us, he had a little bit of a tight hamstring. He was able to practice through it and glute muscle. But you still don't see any ice out on the sidelines, and you just wonder if he's going to try to come back in later in the game, or if that's it for the big man.
And last week, the Cleveland defense held Eddie George in check. They did the same thing with Jerome Bettis. Here's Cordell Stewart to pass on first down. Stewart in trouble. Stewart's got running room. And Stewart is chopped down at the 45. Darren Hambrick. It's a 2-yard gain.
I've seen Darren Hambrick make a couple big tackles with this Cleveland Browns defense. And you got to talk about this defense being revitalized. Butch Davis, of course, a defensive specialist, and Hambrick, a big part of it from the linebacking crew. And I think one of the greatest acquisitions, though, in the offseason, get the Steelers middle linebacker. If you're going to compete in the division, weaken the other team, strengthen your team. And Earl Holmes was one heck of an acquisition for this Cleveland team.
Bettis back in the game now. 2nd and 7 at the 46. Stewart steps up again. Stewart jitterbugging. Stewart gets to the 49. Darren Hambrick with the tackle again, a gain of 5.
And there's nothing wrong with Cordell Stewart running the ball. In fact, it looks like he's dropping back these last couple plays and thinking, run first. You know, it takes its toll on you. He's moving a little slow right now. You take some shots, but it looks like, hey, if guys aren't open, I'm running. tuck it away. He's got some great moves. You know what a great athlete he is. And the downside of that is you're going to take some shots.
3rd down, 1 at the 48. The rushing numbers for Cordell. Amos Zaraway in the backfield. Hines Ward dancing around the line of scrimmage. Here's Stewart, needs a yard. Did they get it? I don't know.
Yeah, they got it.
I don't know. Antoine Randall with the catch, and they get the 1st down. Dangerous pass, though.
Very dangerous, but you know, we talked today about Cordell Stewart being able to put the ball in the numbers for the most part. And the times that they've fallen short, he's got pressure, somebody right in his face, and you got to throw this ball low and away where only your receiver can catch it. Oh, man, that ball was bouncing around in there, and Randall L., nice job of cradling it and rolling over, because if that ball touches the ground, it's incomplete.
1st and 10 at the 46. Pittsburgh trying to answer. Fuamata Maafala rumbling over the left side, taken down at the 45. Gerard Warren jumping on his back.
And even though that's only a 1-yard gain, that's great. It shows me that the Steelers aren't panicking. They're not just going back to throwing the ball. They're sticking with their game plan, pound it up in there, wear down this defensive line for the Cleveland Browns. That's what it seems like.
It seems like Chris Fuamata Maafala has a little bit better burst right now than Jerome Bettis.
Well, and that's probably, you know, during the course of a game, you take some shots, and we've always talked about the bus being able to get stronger as the game goes on, and maybe that hamstring's bothering him, because if I'm in the 4th quarter of the game, I want to ride the bus.
2nd down and 9 at the 45. Play action. Stewart looks down the field. Beautiful catch. Hines Ward climbing the ladder. This kid is fearless. 18-yard pickup.
Hines Ward with that crazed, I don't care what happens to me look in his eyes, like you mentioned, going across the middle, going up high. Some receivers will give it a half arm wave when it's that high. Look at the ups on that guy.
Wow.
And still a little juke bug after that. And, you know, you mentioned the fact that he's got that half crazed look in his eye. When you're getting up that high, right in the middle of the defense, you got to be a little crazy.
8 catches, 98 yards for Hines Ward. 1st and 10 at the Cleveland 27. To the sideline, Burris, nice catch, and that's been open all day from Plexico Burris. That little square out on the sideline. You have a feeling that by the end of this game, he's going to turn it up.
And it's just a matter of time. And there's Chris Fuamata Maafala, Gus, and he was holding his wrist coming off the field. And we were talking about Jerome Bettis and why he wasn't in there. And now Chris has an issue, and it looked like it was one of his wrists. I'm not sure if his right or his left. He was running off and holding on to it. And there's Jerome Bettis. And, you know, I think if I'm the Steelers, unless the boss is hurt, I want him in here now anyway.
2nd and 4 at the 22. Cordell Stewart looking in the end zone, double coverage. That one picked off by Cleveland. Cordell Stewart threw that one right in the double coverage, and Robert Griffith steps in and makes the interception.
And Gus, Cordell hasn't done it all day. He hasn't forced it. He hasn't gone right into double coverage. You see Robert Griffith just waiting on it, almost fair catches it.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Spiders, listed on the American Stock Exchange. Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, and scooters. And by Staples 365 Savings. Yeah, we've got that.
Shot of Promani Brothers, an institution here in Pittsburgh, located in the Strip District, outside downtown. That gets you hungry. And right now, the Cleveland Browns are hungry for their 3rd win of the season after forcing a turnover. They have it at the 20. Here's White carrying over the left side, and he is taken down at the 21 by Joey Porter. What happened on this interception?
Well, you know, Hines Ward is Cordell's security blanket, and I think Cordell will be the first to tell you, hey, I wish I could have this one back. Here's Robert Griffith. He's going to get double coverage. Hines Ward is right here running the post route. Watch Plexico Burris on the cross route right here. You know that there's double coverage on top. Look at Plexico Burris. No one's covering him. He might have a touchdown right there, and Cordell's going to see that one on film, and that's just a force, and he knows it. But hey, Gus, great players make mistakes all the time. Ask Kurt Warner of the Rams.
2nd and 8 at the 22. Defense needs to give the ball back to Pittsburgh. White somehow manages to get past the line of scrimmage up to the 25. A 3-yard pickup.
Tackled by Porter and Gilman.
And Gus, it just looks like the Browns are playing the odds now, pounding it up in there, trying to get that clock to run and putting the pressure. And there's Tommy Maddox warming up.
We may see a change right here.
Boy, and I just know what Cordell Stewart's been through over the years, and he's been a fighter. And you just hate to see the guy get a quick hook on one bad throw, and he's made some good throws today. But, hey, that's the coach's prerogative. You're 0-2. You've got to do something for the team. And, hey, Bill Cowher has been awfully successful.
3rd down and 5. Here's White looking for the first down. Has it and more. White knocked out of bounds at the 43. Chad Scott with the tackle. An 18-yard gain on 3rd down.
And we've seen Jamel White have some success running to the left here. Let's watch what happens. What happens is the Cleveland left side of the Cleveland offensive line just buries the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ross Verba getting out, making a huge block for Jamel White.
And White with 97 yards rushing on 10 carries. He's averaging close to 10 yards per carry. 1st down and 10. At the 43, Cleveland with great breathing room here. White breaks it back, looking to get outside. Corey Gilden drags him down. A flag on the play, though.
And Gus, actually 2 flags on the play, and I wonder if we're going to have a late hit or a face mask, because initially we had a hold in the offensive backfield of the Cleveland Browns, and I wonder if Jason Gilden took a shot at Jamel White.
I think Gilden inadvertently got some of White's face mask.
And not every face mask is intentional. Sometimes your fingers get up there around the head region and they just get caught in between the bars of a face mask.
Holding. 60 offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Still 1st down. The flag over there is not a penalty. It's not a face mask call.
Wow. I haven't seen a face mask waved off before, Gus. And that's what Butch Davis is saying. How the heck do you wave off a face mask? Let's watch Sean O'Hara on the hold initially. And you see his arm on Casey Hampton driving him right by with the takedown. Now let's see if Jason Gilden gets. Yeah. And we see something.
I guess he didn't get him. He didn't get him. He didn't get the face mask. 1st down and a long 20 for Cleveland at the 33. Handed off to White. White looking, reverses, nowhere to go. At the 25, Aaron Smith corralling him and driving him hard to the ground.
And Gus, of course you'd like to have positive yardage. You don't like penalties, but the clock's keeping moving forward, and we're down to almost 6 minutes left in this game, and the Cleveland Browns want to just keep killing time. And the way their defense is playing, they're saying, hey, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're not getting in our end zone.
2nd down and 26, a loss of 7 on the last play. At the Cleveland 27. White. And White bottled up and taken down once again. Aaron Smith. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 27 yards.
Tackle made by Smith.
And you see Butch Davis, and what are you gonna call right here? Maybe you just go ahead and run the ball, and let's check out number 50 for the Steelers, sneaking in there, Larry Foote, the rookie, making a couple of big tackles here in this last drive. You know, it's easy to be aggressive when you know the other team's going to run the ball. Let's see what happens right now. They've got the 4 wides in. Do they hand it off to Jamel White? Do they throw a screen, or do they take a shot at the 1st down?
3rd down, 26, and they give it to White. Jamel White wrestled down, still on his feet, somehow broke a tackle. Michael Logan, though, taking him down, and it's a 4-yard pickup. So the Browns offense determined to let their defense win this game for them.
And Gus, I think that's the right call. 3rd and 27. That is a long shot, trying to convert that. Go ahead and keep the clock moving. Take another 40 seconds off the clock. You've got one of the best punters, if not the best punter in the National Football League, and Chris Gardocki. Play the percentages on the road.
Gardocki comes in to punt. Antoine Randall needs a good return here. 4:33 to go. 13-6 Cleveland. Randall very dangerous, returning kicks. High spiraling punt by Gardocki. Here comes the rookie from the 16. And he is wrapped up at the 23. A 53-yard punt and a 6-yard return. And here comes the change that we've been predicting. Tommy Maddox will be under center. Whenever the Goodyear blimp is hovering above a game with its camera focused on an event, you know you're going to get a unique view. Overhead today is the blimp Spirit of Goodyear, which made the trip to Pittsburgh from Akron. And the crowd cheering as Tommy Maddox comes onto the field for the first time. Maddox has a first down and 10 from his own 23. Maddox underneath. That one is caught. Terrence Mathis. Tommy Maddox, originally a first-round pick by the Broncos in 1992, the 25th overall selection, left college after his sophomore year out of UCLA. And he's bounced in and out and around the league. Maddox again to the sideline. I tell you what, he is coming out and throwing BBs. That's a gain of 11.
And Gus, they got the no huddle going right now, and they don't necessarily need it time-wise. And actually, they're getting back into the huddle right now. But how about hitting Terrence Mathis, the old receiver from the Atlanta Falcons? Let's see, he's only had 666 catches coming into the game today. You think the old guy can still do it? I think so.
Maddox has played in the Arena League, the XFL. He's been out of football a couple of years. 1st and 10 at the 42. Maddox sets up down the field, incomplete. Overthrows Plexico Burris and open Plexico Burris. And Devin Bush comes up limping. He grabbed his right hamstring for Cleveland.
He did, and he's looking to the sideline. If I'm Tommy Maddox, I see that, and I go right after Devin Bush again if he's still on the field. And Devin Bush definitely has some savvy. He's a player out there, but if he is limping like that, I'd see what he's got deep.
Maddox in the game, and the coach is determined to open it up. 2nd and 10 at the 42. Cleveland showing blitz. They back out of it. Here's Burris again. And Plexico has it at the 37. A 21-yard gain. And what a story developing in Pittsburgh. Tommy Maddox comes on, and in 4 plays, they're inside Cleveland territory.
And Gus, you see zero coverage, no free safety right there with Plexico Burris. I don't know if it was a missed call or what, but he was one-on-one.
Maddox sets up, delivers. Randall! Tommy Maddox, lightning in a bottle. He has this crowd in Pittsburgh fired up.
And Gus,
he's looking like Roy Hobbs.
And they're staying with the momentum of the no huddle, Gus, continuing to keep the Cleveland Brown defense from huddling up. Sometimes that causes confusion, especially in the secondary.
That was a gain of 20. Maddox again, looking, firing, it's caught. Ward at the 10, he goes down at the 9. And the numbers on Maddox, he's 5 of 6, 67 yards. Approaching the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 3. Here's Maddox over the middle. Touchdown!
Quick post outside, Plexico Burris, Tommy Maddox versus the blitz, put it right up there, no free safety. Anthony Henry knows he's got to get a jam on Plexico to be able to even have a chance. Didn't get it.
Extra point is up and good, and just like that, we are tied in Pittsburgh. Plexico Burris, Tommy Maddox, and Cordell Stewart will take it. 13 apiece.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Gap and by Lamisil AT. There's no better way to cure athlete's foot.
13 apiece, 2:02 to go in the fourth quarter, and there's a new starting quarterback in Pittsburgh. His name is Tommy Maddox. But the Steelers have to hold. They've got a pretty good quarterback on the other sideline, and this one kicked out of bounds. And that is the worst possible thing for the Steelers.
The ball will be placed 30 yards from the kickoff spot. First down.
And Gus, you don't want Bill Cowher looking at you like that. And Gus, I'm not a big believer in scoring too early, but we saw the Steelers go no huddle. A big part of it is there's still 2 minutes and 2 seconds left in the game. The Browns have 2 timeouts left. There's still a lot of time. Watch Plexico set that up outside against Anthony Henry. Great job of being patient. He saw there was no safety. Stay patient, go outside, and then come underneath.
First down and 10, though, for Tim Couch. They have excellent field position at the 40. Here's Couch, sets up a screen. White with the grab, flag on the play. White breaking into Pittsburgh territory and gets all the way into the 34. But let's see what the penalty flag is.
And they're going to get Ross Verba for a hold, Gus.
Coming back.
Actually, it looks like a hold and a shot to the face.
Illegal use of hands. Number 77 offense. Hands to the face. That's a 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
And that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 1:53 to go. Tied up at 13. Field, where the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns, two fierce rivals in one of the great rivalries in the National Football League, are deadlocked at 13 with 1:53 to go. Here's a quick screen, flags all over the field. Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Ball start. 72 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
One of the great rivalries in the NFL, and in the first half, this game basically a field goal kicking contest, 2 apiece. But in the second half, in the fourth quarter in particular, Cleveland got a 4-yard touchdown run from Jamel White, but Pittsburgh came back. Bill Cowher benched Cordell Stewart, and Tommy Maddox stepped onto the field for Pittsburgh and looked like Joe Montana, marching him down the field and hitting Plexico Burris for a 10-yard strike, and that's where we are right now.
And Gus, Cleveland's had actually 2 penalties in a row. Not only that last illegal procedure, but an illegal hands to the face off a 26-yard gain right here 2 plays ago. Really hurt him.
First down at 25. The energy back in this building. Draw play. Jamel White, and White gets over the 30. Up to the 32, a 7-yard pickup.
And Gus, I had mentioned that illegal hands to the face on Ross Verba here a couple plays ago. Jamel White had a 30-yard screen pass. Watch the left tackle going against Clark Higgins. Now the officials will let your hand slip up into the face, but you got to reroute it. You saw the second punch.
And that one caught underneath Kevin Johnson. Another 7-yard gain.
Kevin Johnson, tackled by Townsend. Third.
1:15 to play in the fourth quarter, tied at 13, 3rd and 11 for Cleveland. Jamel White at the 40, he won't get there. He will not get there. A 3-yard pickup, they needed 11. And the Pittsburgh Steelers will get another chance to let Tommy Maddox come onto the field.
And Gus, we saw the Cleveland Browns go with the hurry-up offense a couple times. I don't know why they didn't huddle up. They still have 2 timeouts. They still had over a minute left. And they wanted to try to catch the Steelers off guard and get huddling up.
103 on the scoreboard clock. 103.
The clock had whittled down to 48 seconds. They put 103 on the clock. And Tommy Maddox came in and led them on a 7-play drive.
Great slant route by Plexico Burress. Notice how he sets Anthony Henry up outside. No free safety. The initial reaction for most receivers is to try to get in across the middle on the slant right now. Plexico Burress being very patient, setting up the defensive back outside and coming back underneath. Great throw by Tommy Maddox.
He's got a look of determination on his face. Tommy Maddox, he is well-traveled in this league. He's played in the Arena League, in the XFL, out of football for a couple of years. Antoine Randall, the rookie, will get a chance from the 9. Nice play. Randall at the 20. Stumbles to the 25. A 48-yard punt and a 16-yard return. The 100th meeting between these two squads. And the Browns lead the series, but the Steelers have won 3 in a row. And a flag has been thrown on the play at the 41, a hold against Pittsburgh, rather.
And that's going to back him up.
Number 84 of the receiving team during a punt. Will be a 10-yard penalty from the dead ball spot.
And Gus, that's crucial because there's a big difference between starting at your 25 and starting at your own 15, backed up inside the 20. Most coaches say, hey, it's not worth it. 51 seconds left, 2 timeouts. I don't know, the way Tommy Maddox moved the team last time down, you got to take a couple of cracks at it, I think. But it's not the perfect spot. You have a turnover here, Gus, and they're actually at the 5-yard line.
Do you play for overtime at this point?
From the 5-yard line, you do.
Pittsburgh has 1 timeout, and here comes Tommy Maddox. Came on with 4:14 left in the 4th quarter. He's 6 of 7, 77 yards and a touchdown. So let's see what Bill Cowher elects to do. Does he fall on it or go for it?
I think playing at home, you can afford to fall on it.
2 timeouts for Cleveland. And they run it. Amos Zaraway. And he's wrapped up by Orpheus Roy and Courtney Brown. And a timeout has been called by the Browns. They have 1 left. But what an amazing turn of events. The Pittsburgh Steelers just stagnant on offense under Cordell Stewart. And with 4:14 remaining, Bill Cowher electing to go to his backup quarterback, who's got a great arm, not as mobile, and he marched him right into the end zone. Don't forget, second half of the doubleheader coming up next. Some of you will see New England at San Diego, others Tennessee at Oakland.
And I think the thing that we've seen with Tommy Maddox stepping into the huddle is we've seen a lot quicker routes. He's not standing back in the pocket and holding the ball. He's making quick decisions, quick releases, getting rid of the ball right now, putting the ball in the hands of his wide receivers and letting them do something with it.
The Cleveland Browns went to overtime last week against Tennessee. We're 44 seconds away from an extra session. And they hand the ball off to the bus, and the bus goes down. Cleveland quickly calling a timeout, their final timeout, with 37 seconds remaining.
Tackled by Warren and Roll.
So that should definitely take us to an overtime situation with 37 seconds left on the clock.
As long as you get a good exchange and don't fumble the ball, we're going to be looking at overtime. And, you know, we've had a lot of overtime games in the NFL this year, this early in the season, and you got to wonder, and I know there's a lot of talk around the country, do they need to change the overtime rule with the coin toss, and the 1 series and out, the team that loses the coin toss doesn't get a chance to come back?
That is a good question. In college football, the overtime situation is a little different. Each team gets an opportunity. And I believe Tommy Maddox will step to the line of scrimmage and take a knee. And he will. folks. Overtime in the Steel City. Pittsburgh with new life. We talked to their coach, Bill Cowher. We asked him if this was a must-win. He said no, but he had that look in his eye, and we read his mind. You know, this is a must-win. (13-13) as the clock winds down. Butch Davis has seen this before. His team last year playing a number of close games, overtime games, controversial games. He's had an overtime game this season against Tennessee that he won last week. Week 1, a controversial ending
regulation score, 13-13.
Against Kansas City.
Cleveland, you're the visitor. What is your coin call? Tails. Tails was called. Hey, heads it is. Pittsburgh has won the toss, and they have chosen to receive.
And number 97 out there, Ryan Keel, the long snapper, actually came out last week and called heads for the first time. And they got the ball, got it back, and drove down the field and won. You see him go with the switch up to tails, and they lost it this time around.
So we're heading for overtime, 15 minutes, and here's the deal. Whoever scores first wins. Welcome back to Pittsburgh. A look at the overtime rules. 2 timeouts per team. Timeouts do not carry over into the overtime session. A 15-minute period, and the first team to score wins, and Pittsburgh will receive. And the records in overtime: Cleveland 12-10-1 all-time. Pittsburgh 15-8-1. And the last time they went in overtime last year, and the Steelers won it 15-12.
Well, you just wonder if the Steelers are going to come out and try to run the ball with Jerome Bettis and keep that offense balanced, or if they're going to go right back to the Tommy gun and throw the ball down the field. They let Maddox have at it the first time that he came into the game. And you just wonder. Now, I'm sure some of it depends on field position. But we said at the top of the show, the Steelers need to run to win, but right now they might need to pass to win.
Phil Dawson ready to send it away. Tommy Maddox checking out the plays. Dawson. And this will be Lee Mays from his own goal line. Mays gets outside. Mays cuts it back, hurdling. And a nice return for Lee Mays to the 32-yard line. And here comes Maddox. And the interesting thing, Brent, is this. 2 teams this season have exposed the Pittsburgh defense, spreading them out. Tommy Maddox comes in and does the same thing to Cleveland.
Well, he sure picked them apart right there. And Cleveland definitely took some chances on defense, going without a free safety a couple times and wanted to bring the blitz. And Tommy Maddox stepped up and hit the open receiver. That's what you got to do. And Gus, once again, 4 wide, spreading it out.
First down and 10 at the 32. Maddox out of the shotgun, looking underneath. It's intercepted! A flag on the play. Andre Davis.
Illegal formation. There was not enough men on the line of scrimmage. That penalty is declined. First down.
Wow! Andre Davis.
The other one.
What an interception.
That is unbelievable for a linebacker to have the hand-eye coordination.
Oh, my goodness.
Pull it in with one arm, knock it back to your body. And what a spectacular catch. You just don't see that.
Phil Dawson was the hero last week for Cleveland as he nailed a 33-yard field goal in overtime to beat Tennessee. Right now, they're at the 34-yard line. This would be a 51-yarder. Play action, Couch looking, sets, fires to the sideline. It's caught by Aaron Shea, and he goes down at the 30. Larry Foote with the tackle.
And Gus, with Phil Dawson as your kicker, you're definitely in makeable range right now, and you're at the side of the field where less crazy things seem to happen with that ball floating over the goalpost. Chris Brown was the Steelers' kickers last year and had a ton of problems at the other end of the field, kicking the ball and having that wind swirl up there. So right now, if you're the Cleveland Browns, don't take any unnecessary risks.
2nd and 6 at the 30. Davis in motion. They hand it off to White. And White upended, but stumbles forward to the 27. Casey Hampton with the tackle in the middle.
Brought down by Gilman.
Maddox.
And Hampton.
He has gone from hero to GOAT in a matter of minutes.
And that's life in the NFL, and it happens to every quarterback that sooner or later. And the fans jumped on that bandwagon. It got awful quiet around here, and Andre Davis still made a spectacular play. A rookie linebacker coming in and getting one hand on it. Unbelievable.
3rd down 3. Double tight ends. Jamel White, and he will lose yardage. Goes backwards to the 29. And here comes Phil Dawson.
And Gus, that is exactly the call, and you're going to see the Browns take a timeout, but that's exactly what you want to do. Even though some people think, hey, go for the 1st down, try to keep it rolling, you want to give your kicker the greatest opportunity to make it. Phil Dawson definitely within his range. It's going to be about 45 yards.
And this was last week. Dawson with the 33-yard field goal to win the game. His 3rd game-winning field goal of his career. And he can do it once again. This, though, from 45 yards out. And the ball will be spotted on the right hash mark.
Remember what Steelers Todd Peterson, kicker, Todd Peterson told me before the game, the ball tends to drift a little left in this end of the end zone.
Chris Gardocki is the holder. And the Steelers call a timeout. They want to ice Phil Dawson. Give him a little more time to think about it. Don't forget, coming up next, the 2nd half of our doubleheader, New England at San Diego or Tennessee at Oakland. For the Steelers, what can you do? Is there anything that you can do except pray?
You can pray and you can scream at the kicker and you can maybe try to bust somebody through there and get a hand on it, but Phil Dawson is kicking as well as any kicker in the National Football League right now, even as well as Adam Vinatieri from the Patriots. He doesn't seem to get rattled out there, and the ball just explodes off of his foot, and that timeout's not icing him. It just gives him a better time here to set up, get his spot in the grass.
So here we go. Dawson will tee it up from about the 35. A 45-yard field goal attempt for the win. It's up. Oh! He missed it. He hooked it. And the Steelers are still alive.
Pittsburgh takes over on down.
Gus, that ball looked like it was going end over end. I'm just wondering if somebody didn't get a hand on it. It kicked off, looked like it kicked off somebody's helmet. Reverse, started going end over end the other way and hit the crossbar. That would have been the most amazing field goal in NFL history if that went through. I think it bounced off a Steelers' head. And look what Bill Cowher said. And Bush Davis can't believe it. That ball did not get up.
So the Steelers take over with new life. 1st down at the 35. Maddox, this time he hands it off. And it's Zaraway running. Amos Zaraway picks up 4 yards. The standings in the newly formed AFC North. Cleveland with an opportunity to go 2.5 up on the Steelers. It doesn't get any easier for Pittsburgh. They go to New Orleans next week. 2nd down 6 at the 39. Maddox looking all day to throw underneath. Plexico Burris slammed to the ground. The ball was stripped. Let's see. And Plexico somehow holds on.
I think that ball bounced right back up into Plexico Burris' stomach because it came out, I think, definitely before he hit the ground, but somehow he reacted and that ball bounced right up to him.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers hold on.
1st and 10, Steelers.
Plexico Burris running a drag route across the middle. Watch him getting tossed, and that ball's coming out right there. Stripped by Anthony Henry, and the ball just rolled right back into his shoulder, right under his arm, Gus.
First down at the 49. Here's the screen. Zeraway. And he's tripped up and taken down. And you know, so many great names have been associated with this rivalry. Names like Marion Motley and Otto Graham, Jim Brown, Terry Bradshaw, John Stallworth, and now Tommy Maddox. And his fourth quarter heroics will be added to this rivalry. 2nd and 7 at the 46. Maddox to the sideline, caught. That's Antoine Randall at the 40. Steelers getting closer. A 7-yard pickup.
Tackle on the play by Sanders. Official timeout. Measurement for the down.
And Gus, he needed to get to the 39 right there, and that ball is very close, maybe 2 or 3 inches. I'm going to say ends up being just a little bit short.
And they are short. A couple of inches. Brings up 3rd down and inches as Maddox trots back onto the field. And this man has traveled a windy road in the National Football League, from being a first-round pick, leaving college after his sophomore year, to failing in Denver, being out of football, then in the XFL and the Arena Football League. He ran an insurance company with his father in Dallas. But just couldn't give up this great game.
And Gus, when was the last time it's been 3rd and inches and Jerome Bettis is on the sidelines? They've got the spread offense, big 3rd down.
Maddox sneaking it forward and gets it. Tommy Maddox. And the Steelers pick up the first down.
And that might have been the most important 6 inches of the day right there. Tommy Maddox falling forward and just getting the ball across the 39. But they continue to go with the 4 wide, spread it, have Amos Zeraway in as the back. It's the speed offense in right now, and Tommy Maddox continues to throw the ball down the field against this Cleveland Brown defense.
First down and 10 at the 38. Right on the fringe of Todd Peterson's range, underneath, and that one a BB caught. Terrence Mathis, the 13-year veteran, former Atlanta Falcons, cradling it and gaining 6, and Peterson warming up.
You know, we've seen some crazy things happen with the swirling winds at this far right corner end zone.
Maddox hands it off to Zeraway. Zeraway outside. Zeraway 2 hands on the ball and goes down at the 27. Robert Griffith with the tackle.
Ground level, Amos Zeraway, Gus getting out, bouncing it outside, and hanging on to that ball. You see 2 hands on the ball. Smart young man. Right now, the only thing that can hurt you is a turnover. And this Cleveland Browns defense is going for the strip every play. You see him ripping and clawing, trying to pull that ball out. Now more than ever, you need 2 hands on it.
And they are within Todd Peterson's range. 1st and 10 at the Cleveland 27. Underneath, caught by Antoine Randall. Breaks it free, and he gets inside the 10. An 18-yard gain for the rookie out of Indiana. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are knocking on the door.
Just a little hook route over the middle, and Randall L. gets the ball, and dang, he is off, just explodes, gets north and south, and Tommy Maddox is saying, yes, that's it, this is money, field goal range. And you take the 4 wides off the field, you put in Mark Bruner and the bus, and you say, we're going to pound at him for 3 plays and then kick the field goal.
Bettis back in. Here's Bettis running over the right side. And Bettis stood up. And he'll get to the 6. And you have the feeling that the Steelers may attempt the kick on third. Actually, they're going to do it right now.
Sure, what the heck? You got the ball right there, middle of the field. Bad snap. You can always fall on it, have another chance.
Here comes Todd Peterson, 8th-year man out of Georgia. 5 years in Seattle, came over from Kansas City. This from 24 yards out. And now the Browns decide to call a timeout and give Peterson a chance to think about it. He'll step away. Game on the line for this man. So here we go. Todd Peterson in to attempt a 24-yarder in overtime for the win. They get it down. It's up. And it's blocked. Peterson fumbles the ball. Holy Toledo. What is that?
Third down field.
Peterson. Let's take another look.
And Gus, that's why you kick on second down. The ball's kicked, it's blocked. And that ball's on the ground, Todd Peterson. And the ball did not cross the line of scrimmage, Gus. And so the Steelers maintain possession.
Alvin McKinley blocking the field goal attempt.
The 30-second timeout.
And a timeout has been called.
And Gus, that ball has to pass the line of scrimmage in order for it to be a Browns ball. And how many times have you seen a kick on second or third down and you say, oh, if this happens, then you get another chance. But this is an actual time where it's happened. I've never seen that. The ball's blocked, the Browns. Big hand right up the middle, but it does not pass the line of scrimmage, and the Steelers are gonna just kick it again.
And Peterson was a quick thinker. He grabs it.
He does. Hey, get down, Todd. Don't run the ball. They're going to strip it. Throw you around. There goes the ball on the ground. And luckily, number 57 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, John Fiala, comes over and recovers it. But that ball has to pass the line of scrimmage. It was blocked. It didn't. Otherwise, if it would have deflected forward or out of bounds or sideways, it'd be the Browns' ball.
So Peterson gets another chance, this time from 31 yards out. They get it down, it's up, and it is good. And the bizarre season continues for the Cleveland Browns.
Pittsburgh 16, Cleveland 13.
But for the Pittsburgh Steelers, they'll take it any way they can get it. Pittsburgh notching its first win of the season, 16-13, as they jump on the back of backup quarterback Tommy Maddox. Maddox a star. Another look at the kick.
Section 105, rows double D 1 through 22, double E 1 through 18, double F 1 through 19,
Butch Davis.
E 1 through 6.
But Peterson
Of Hines and Todd Peterson.
up and good, and Pittsburgh with the win today. And there's Tommy Maddox. He's a happy man in the Steel Town. And so are the fans. 16-13 the final. For Brent Jones, I'm Gus Johnson saying so long for Pittsburgh. Coming up next, game 2 of our doubleheader. You'll see either the Patriots and Chargers or Tennessee and Oakland. Tommy Maddox, the new starting quarterback in Pittsburgh. You've been watching the National Football League on CBS.